little time that you're needing. I'll be the little violin that's playing. I'll be the space that helps your eyes see clearer. Please tell me, are you alright now? Are you alright now? Are you alright now? Are you alright now? I'm telling you right, but you just told me wrong. Treat me wrong. Why you wanna treat me wrong? I'm sorry that you're leaving, but I'm happy that you're gone. Treat me wrong. Why you wanna treat me wrong? I'm sorry that you're leaving, but I'm happy that you're gone. But I'm so sorry. But what did I say that really upset you? I know you're so sensitive and peculiar, but based on our very last conversation, I thought that you'd be hanging around. Hanging around. Hanging around. You're not hanging around. I'm telling you right, but you just told me wrong. Treat me wrong. Why you wanna treat me wrong? I'm sorry that you're leaving, but I'm happy that you're gone. Treat me wrong. Why you wanna treat me wrong? I'm sorry that you're leaving, but I'm happy that you're gone. Treat me wrong. Why you wanna treat me wrong? I'm sorry that you're leaving, but I'm happy that you're gone. Treat me wrong. Why you wanna treat me wrong? I'm sorry that you're leaving, but I'm happy that you're gone. You're gone, 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 you're Told you right, but you just told me wrong. Treat me wrong. Why you wanna treat me wrong? I'm sorry that you're leaving, but I'm happy that you're gone. Treat me wrong. Why you wanna treat me wrong? I'm sorry that you're leaving, but I'm happy that you're gone. Treat me wrong. Why you wanna treat me wrong? I'm sorry that you're leaving, but I'm happy that you're gone. Treat me wrong. Why you wanna treat me wrong? I'm sorry that you're leaving, but I'm happy that you're gone.
And here we are for another show.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Friday Night Vinyl.
That was a little more upbeat, Ed, than usual.
I'm working because the first time I think I was a little overbearingly, aggressively
Right. Yeah, you have to
friendly.
like tone it down just a little.
And then I was kind of back to the
you were up
mundane.
here, and then you were down here,
I think
and
that
now
was-
you're pretty good. It was pretty good.
I think
maybe
about
by
another
season
100
3, you'll be
yeah.
okay. Yeah.
So anyway,
okay.
as always, Friday Night Vinyl is brought to you by Red Solo Cup and the magic contained within. And also,
And what else?
Well, I think we have
We got Jimmy's on board tonight.
we have Hey Joe root beer. That's right, Jimi Hendrix root beer right here.
We have Jimmy's Purple Haze grape soda. That's Jimmy with an I.
That's
not
Jimmy.
with a Y.
Well, yes, we have to
Yeah,
clarify
we gotta
that
clarify
to
that.
some viewers.
Purple Haze grape soda. Yes.
Yes.
And what's the? Oh, you got to remember that.
And that's right, as we're approaching the summer, Hawks Wiffle Ale. This is the last bottle on the planet. This was brewed in 1995. Hawks
You know what?
Wiffle Ale.
The liquid level keeps on going down and down. It's like evaporating.
Yeah.
Like it used to be up here, and now it's all the way down here.
Yeah, actually, it looks.
Do you notice that?
I'm waiting for this to explode on the set one day. And Lenny, why don't you share with the audience what's getting you through tonight's show?
Oh, what's getting me through tonight is Jim Beam's Apple extra large bottle tonight.
Now, for me, I'm taking it slow and easy, and it's and it's Guinness and Tullamore Dew. That being said, for those of you who are new to the show, we do the 3-minute introduction in the beginning because what we did before was we'd go right into the live show, and I felt there were times where the people were cheated of my early brilliance early on in the evening, and that's why there always seemed to be a more like Team Lenny because they miss my bright shining moments.
Yeah, it takes you a little bit of time to get going.
I'm an acquired taste, yeah.
Yeah.
So therefore, and happy 420 to those of you who are, 420. I know, I never got that. I see, 420 is kind of like ours used to be 714, which
Right,
was,
yeah,
which
right.
was National Quaalude Day.
Exactly.
You know,
what's,
lemon
the
four-
what's the 420?
420 has something to do with weed. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I'm sure
All right.
Ben is, listening to
Yeah, if
Bob
any-
Marley right now and hitting the water bong. Not that I would know what a water bong is or how to hit it,
Or
but
how to hit it, right.
hey, I was young once. many
Yeah,
years
many,
ago.
many years ago.
So, Roy, welcome. And we got Robert, Patty, thank you for stopping by. Ben, as always. Ben, I have to
The
say,
devil's lettuce, huh?
Ben, I have to say, your name could appear on here as Viewer of the Year. I think
Wow.
you have a good shot at that. And that's really hard for me to say.
Ben does have a violation named after him.
Yes,
so-
he does have a
One
violation.
of my violations.
Yes.
The Pen Pal violation of the cover songs.
song, yes.
Right, on albums. So.
So another thing here, I don't think, is it Rob or Ron Silverman?
That was Scott.
Scott
Silverman.
Rob, there's so many.
Yeah, Scott, whatever.
So, in August, we're going to see ELO at the Wells Fargo Center in Philadelphia, for those of you in the area. And we're going to end up having a Friday Night Vinyl tailgate thing.
Yeah.
I'll give everybody the directions of where we're going to do it, but it'll be cool. And I think we're going to play a ELO Blast, Trash, and Fix that night with
Right.
whoever.
In the parking lot, on the tailgate. Yeah.
On the tailgate.
Right.
So, next week we are going to do our draft show, which we did last year. This year we're drafting our top 10 albums. And after that, we're figuring out how we're going to do the audience draft. We might have the audience draft from the 30 we pick, and that might determine
Who the winner is.
who the winner is.
Right.
I think that
Because
might
there's got to be a winner. Somebody needs to have bragging rights.
Right.
Yeah.
Notice I had to look at myself in the camera here like this to see if I'm
Make
doing
sure
this
you're actually
right.
pointing to
Yeah,
yourself.
I didn't want to be going like
You wanna
this.
go like this?
Yeah. So I checked, and I am
Got it.
pointing to me.
Yes, you are.
I mean, not that that finger hitting my chest should tell me anything. But anyway, the night is young.
Yes.
So, and if there's anybody out there from Southwest Philly in the house, we also went into the group.
Yeah, that's right. Ben's going to be there too. You mentioned Ben's going to be at the.
I did say
you
Ben's
did
going to
that.
be. I include
Oh, okay.
Ben. Yeah.
Ben, Scott.
Ben's going to pay for parking if it's $1, like he did for Yes.
That's true.
Yes. So anyway, that being said, so next week it'll be fun,
Yes.
and I have this here getting ready for the show tonight. As always, will be
Yeah, we're going to do
interesting.
albums and songs again, like we did last week.
Yep.
Going to blast, trash, and fix a couple songs.
Right.
We got Bowie, Stones, Beatles, Alice Cooper,
Black Sabbath.
Black Sabbath.
Queen.
I'm talking about the songs that we're going to.
Oh, the songs. Yeah,
Yeah.
songs are by. Yeah, songs were the ones we posted on the group, with the exception
Right.
of the Beatles list.
Right. We have the
Uh,
Beatles too, also.
And we'll get into all this. So I think this is where we're going to do. What's that segment called, Lenny?
I don't know. Put it up there so it reminds me. I always forget.
It's
I don't know
over
why.
there.
This Day in Music. Okay, it's This Day in Music. eh?
There we go. And here we
Right.
are.
Oh, yeah, it's This Day in Music. It says it right there.
Yes, it does.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised it's right. I'm surprised it didn't say in music history or something, which would still be correct.
All right, so you want to get into it, Ed? You ready?
Let the
Ready
hemorrhages.
to-
Let the hemorrhages start.
I don't think we had too many hemorrhages tonight.
All right, that's great.
It's a pretty.
It's an
you know,
upbeat show tonight.
It's not. Hopefully, yeah. Okay, so today is April 20th, and
Kevin Fittig, Vinny Badafagucci, welcome.
what's up, guys? This
Didn't mean to interrupt.
this day
Yes,
in music,
this day of music,
April 20th,
April 20th.
1957. Elvis Presley, All Shook Up, starts an 8-week stay at the top of the U.S. record charts. Songwriter Otis Blackwell would later say that he wrote the tune at the suggestion of an associate who was shaking a bottle of Pepsi. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
The song went on to be the biggest single of 1957, selling over 2 million copies. So it was all over shaking up a bottle of Pepsi. I'm all shook up.
Like Bob and Doug McKenzie has one of my favorite games. It's called Beer Roulette.
Beer roulette?
You get a 6-pack of beer, or you get a 12-pack, depending on how many friends you are, and you shake one beer up really hard,
Right.
and then you mix it, and then
And
the
then somebody's
person
gotta
goes
open it
in,
up. Right.
opens it up,
Okay. You got to open up close to your face?
close your face, but
Okay.
then, before the next person goes, you keep shaking up another can,
Gotcha.
and then eventually your beer's screwed up, and you got to go out.
Right.
So,
Yeah, you got to take a shower. Too,
Anyway.
Okay. So, this day, 1968, the Rolling Stones recorded Jumpin' Jack Flash, which would reach number 1 in the UK and number 3 in the US by the following July. So, from April to July, it went to number 1 in the UK and number 3 in the US, Jumpin' Jack Flash.
so yes.
This day, 1970, the New York Times reports, this is odd, Ed. The New York Times report Catholic and Protestant youth groups have adopted the Beatles' Yellow Submarine as a religious symbol. As a religious symbol, Yellow Submarine? I don't get that at all. Catholic and Protestant youth groups adopted the Beatles' Yellow Submarine as a religious symbol.
The only thing I can think of is the Peter
1970.
Max flowery.
1970, April 20th. Does anybody Vinny said he has no sound, but Robert said he's got sound. So maybe it's an issue on Vinny's side.
Vinny.
Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on.
Vinny, you got to turn up the volume, pal.
Vinny.
Turn up the volume. All right, so this day in music, 1974.
Go ahead.
Okay, you good? The theme song from the TV show Soul Train called TSOP. Now, Ed, do you know what TSOP stands for?
TSOP?
TSOP. The theme
The Sound of Philadelphia.
Sound of Philadelphia. That is correct. It topped the Billboard Hot 100. It also made number 22 in the UK. Theme song from Soul Train. Okay. This day in music, 1980, 84-year-old George Burns, who starred in the movie Oh God with John Denver, became the oldest person to have a hit on the Billboard Hot 100 when I Wish I Was 18 Again peaked at number 49. Now, when he was asked if George wished he was 18 again, he said, I wish I was 80 again. Then this is when he was 84.
Oh, okay.
He says, I wish I was 80 again when he asked, hey,
Right.
do you actually wish you were 18 again? Before this, his most recent charting record was a spoken word comedy routine with his wife and partner, Gracie Allen.
Yeah.
In the summer of 1933. Okay, this day in music, 1981. John Phillips, the former leader of the Mamas and the Papas, is jailed in Los Angeles after pleading guilty to drug possession charges. His 5-year sentence will be suspended after 30 days in exchange for 250 hours worth of community service. That's a lot of hours. It must have been a lot of drugs. 1985, this day in music, Wham! Became the first group to release cassettes in the People's Republic of China.
Yeah.
This was 1985 now.
And Wham was the first
when-
cassettes that
when-
would get bootlegged.
I know, but... But no, that was Taiwan. No.
Taiwan?
That was Taiwan, yeah. No, but 1985, wasn't
Yeah.
that when CDs were like kind of popular?
Right. But it's
So this was cassettes, and okay.
yeah.
But they became the first group to release cassettes in the People's Republic of China.
Well,
In 1985.
they're communists, so they probably didn't even have CDs yet.
Did they have records? I wonder. 1987, this day in music, a record store in Callaway, Florida, is shut down.
One of their favorite albums in China was Let It Be.
Reddit Read.
Reddit.
Okay, so anyway,
Sorry.
1987, this day in music, a record store in Callaway, Florida is shut down and a part-time clerk is arrested for selling a copy of Two Live Is What We Are by Two Live Crew to a 14-year-old boy. Officials deemed the recording obscene because of its pornographic lyrics.
Yes, Suck My Dick was one of the songs. Really, was one of the
Was
songs.
it?
Well, that's like Sam Kinison.
1987?
Hey, George. Yeah, John. Maybe we should write a love song. Yeah, how about Suck My Dick? It's like, anyways.
Okay.
I apologize for that vulgar outburst, but
Okay.
they were a horrible band, and it was a horrible album, and I worked in a music store that
Who,
had
Two Live
that.
Crew?
Yeah, and nobody cared about that album. The album was crap, and then the
right.
minute the PMRC brought all the attention to it,
Right, because of the
sales
lyrics.
went through the roof because
Right.
everybody's like, I got to hear how bad this
Bad
album
this
is.
right, exactly.
Anyway.
Exactly. Okay.
Time
So
for-
this day in music, 1991, 44-year-old Steve Marriott, who found success in The Small Faces and Humble Pie, died when a fire thought to have been caused by a cigarette swept through his 16th century home. He and Peter Frampton were in the process of reforming and had written and recorded several new songs at the time of his death. Rod Stewart had been his replacement in the Small Faces. So Steve Marriott was originally in the Small Faces, and Rod Stewart actually replaced him. Wow. How about that? Also in 1991, this day in music, Wendy and Carney Wilson, daughters of the Beach Boys' Brian Wilson, along with China Phillips, daughter of the Mamas and Papas' John Phillips, combined their talents to hit number one on the Billboard singles chart for the third time with You're in Love, You're in Love. Okay. 1998, Edward. Michael Jackson.
Mike, how are you? Welcome.
Mike, how you doing?
Richard, welcome.
Welcome. 1998, this day in music. Michael Jackson attended an unveiling of a wax statue of himself.
And the good thing about the wax statue is, what year was it?
1998.
That
it was in Paris.
Each year they can get a match and just melt his nose a little bit smaller.
And they had little children around them. No, I'm sorry. So Jackson also provided one of his own outfits to dress the figure. So. Do you know when it's? No, forget. I'm going to tell no joke. Do you know when it's bedtime at the Jackson home? When the little hand is on the big hand. No. I'm sorry. I digress.
Okay.
1999, this day in music. Billy Joel performs what he says is his last rock music concert at the Meadowlands in New Jersey.
Hold on. Stop the presses.
Stop the press.
We
salute.
Wayne,
where have you been, Wayne?
Oh my lord!
We thought you were like MIA or something.
Oh my lord! Well, he wasn't.
You were MIA. Sorry,
for like 24 episodes.
We put an APB.
we put an OPP.
OPP.
Now, Vinny might have put an OPP.
OPP. You know me.
Anyway, I wonder if he's even able to hear this part yet. We'll see. He'll watch it in the rerun. So anyway.
Here we are.
It was a long time viewer from season 1.
Yeah.
Who was abducted by aliens, but has been securely after several probes. You know what I mean?
But we're trying to go on Mars right now, though.
Yes. Yeah. Life on Mars?
Life on Mars. Haha. Wayne's still here.
Yeah. And here we go. Buckle up, people.
Buckle up. Buckle up for the comments. 1999, this day music. Billy Joel performs what he says is his last rock music concert at the Meadowlands in New Jersey. 1999. He planned on devoting his efforts just to classical music, but obviously later he returned to touring and singing his hits. Obviously.
Yes.
2013, this day in music. Neil Diamond sang Sweet Caroline at Fenway Park in Boston during the 7th inning stretch. The city was celebrating returning to normal day-to-day life after the accused Boston Marathon bomber had been arrested the day before. What else you got? The story? The show?
Ben, the show is only what you make it to be. It's your contributions. Help us help you.
Help us help you. Okay. So anyway, this day in music, 2013, also Record Store Day, an internationally celebrated event to celebrate the art of music, spurred sales of 244,000 vinyl LPs, according to the Nielsen SoundScan. It was the largest one-week total for vinyl albums since SoundScan started tracking sales since 1991.
Wow!
So this was 2013.
Nice. So it hasn't been that long. Yeah.
Right. Now was that the first? Was that the first record store? When did Record Store Day officially start? Was that the first one in 2013? Okay. So 2000.
Got it.
So this day in music, 2015. Norway's Ministry of Culture announced that the country will start turning off FM radio as of January 11, 2017, with the intent to stop transmission of the last FM signal to the country's northernmost regions by December 13th of that year. In its statement, the Norwegian government said the cost of transmitting national radio channels through the FM network is 8 times higher than via the digital audio broadcasting system, the standard digital radio technology that's used across Europe. So they stopped the FM signal and they went with the DAB, digital audio broadcasting. Last but not least, Ed, 2017, this day in music, 70-year-old Cuba Gooding Sr.
Speaking of help me, it was his father there.
Right, exactly. So 70-year-old Cuba Gooding Sr. Got to spit it out. That's the second time I had to say that. The lead singer of the 70s soul group, The Main Ingredient, was found dead in his car in Woodland Hills, California. The band is most often remembered for their 1972 million-selling Billboard #3 hit. Everybody plays the fool sometimes. And that's it for this day in music.
We will be right back with the brilliant portion of our show. All right, We're back. So tomorrow, it's interesting this year. Tomorrow is National Record Store Day.
International Record Store.
International Record Store Day now. And normally throughout the year I do what I got in vinyl this week, but before the season started, I bought about 400.
I don't think you need any more vinyl, Ed.
No, I bought like 400. I got somebody had a garage sale that's a friend that knows we did the show, and sold me a whole ton of albums really cheap. And I've been in the record store once this year, and I'm still not sure what I have and what I don't have. Now, I got some albums for Christmas, but they were newer releases and stuff like that.
Ben.
What's that?
Ben said he listened to one of your favorite songs, Pink, by Aerosmith. Then he had to play Something for Me, so he played Forever by Kiss.
You know, Ben, I could put your name on this, and I could
easily
your
take
name
it off.
right off.
Right.
So, that being said, we're going to start off with our first group tonight. It's a little interesting pairing we have here.
Wayne, you've been gone so long that you forget. I'm the dude on the right, not the boy on the right. I'm the dude on the right.
Yes.
You forget that quickly.
Yeah, I think, yeah. So
where we headed, Ed?
we're going to go for our first three albums, which the category is glam.
Glam.
Yeah, it was glam rock back
Glam
then.
rock.
Glam, glitter. It was like they had so many names, but glam, glitter, acid. It was like,
Right.
what the hell were all these? But glam, I guess, best.
Early
Yeah.
70-ish.
Yeah.
It started.
Yeah.
So actually late 60s. Well, I mean, if we go into the history of glam, I mean, we'd be here all night.
So we're going to go first off with
T-Rex, Electric Warrior, 1971.
Yep, I don't have like
Release.
sales info on that.
I might have
I don't know if it
something
went
here.
gold or
Let's see.
not.
No, I don't think. No, I didn't have any sales information
No.
at all on it.
I think this was a really big album in England.
Well, the album, it says
But
the album
still-
reached #1 in the UK charts, became the best-selling album of 1971.
But it never said anything about going gold or anything like that.
And well, Bang a Gone, Get It On became the band's only U.S. hit. It just said this album received acclaim as a pivotal release of the glam rock movement,
Yes.
basically. But I don't have any sales on it at all. Okay.
Next up,
Sweet. Desolation Boulevard,
Desolation.
1974.
I have this as 500,000. It went gold. Went gold.
That's amazing. That's amazing. It only sold 500,000.
Yeah, you know what? Back then, though, we were able to buy 45s, and I know a lot of people had those two 45s. We'll get into that in a minute.
Okay. And last but not least, we got the New York Dolls debut album.
The New York Dolls, yes.
New York Dolls. That's what I said.
Now,
1973.
Now, this album did not sell, didn't go gold, but it was very influential for a lot of bands going forward, and
Right.
very influential for a band that's very close to your heart, and that would be Kiss.
Right. Yes.
So,
Kiss
you-
actually tried to dress up like the New York Dolls before they actually went into
Right.
their facial makeup.
right, because the New York Dolls had the platform shoes, the makeup,
Right.
and all that stuff. Maybe not character type of makeup, but androgynous was the word back
Right.
then.
So Ed, we were talking before the show about, we covered Desolation Boulevard by Sweet
Right.
before, and I looked it up on Wikipedia and I got one track listing, and then I went on Spotify and I got
Right.
a totally other track listing. But I printed something out that I didn't really read before the show, which I probably should have. Now there was two different versions of the album that was released. There was an RCA Records release in Europe, which was the one that didn't have most of the hits on. And then there was another one by Capitol Records that was released in the United States, Canada, and Japan, which had all the good
Right.
good stuff on it. So
Mhm.
that's the album that we're using in the Blast Trash and Fix. We're using the United States, Canada, and Japan version on Capitol Records.
And why I think this sold 500,000 copies and not more is because I think shortly thereafter they came out with Sweet's Greatest Hits, which had Louie Louie on it,
Right.
and a few other songs on
Okay.
it. But
So you want me? I'll go,
Yeah,
we'll
let's
go
go
first. Since it's just the two of us, I usually go first,
Yeah.
and then you.
Bill will be back.
Then you tell me how wrong I am.
Bill will be back this week. He wanted
Next
to go
week.
out with
He'll be back
next
next
week.
week.
Yeah, next week. If he was back this week, that would be pretty
That would be
amazing.
pretty amazing. Yeah.
He might be on here later, but he decided he wanted to go out with some real friends tonight. So yeah.
Okay, so I'll go first. Let me see. Where am I going to start? I want to start with. Okay, let's start with the T-Rex album. Okay, so most notable for me on here, Ed. I mean, if you want to follow along with me,
Yeah, we'll follow along.
Jeepster. I love Jeepster. Get It On Bang A Gone, which was their
Right.
probably their biggest hit.
Yep.
Am I right? Okay. And The Motivator was a decent song that I liked off of here. Rip Off was a second tier song. I only really like 3 songs off of here. So I mean, of these 3 albums, I'm dumping. I mean, I like T-Rex. I like the band. I'm a fan of the group. But you know, comparing these 3 albums, I'm dumping these out of the 3 because there wasn't. I mean, of the 11 tracks on here, I really only like 3, and there was maybe 2. Mambo Sun was another second tier song off of here. Everything else I could do without. So, that fact, I'm dumping this out of the 3. Okay. Now between the next 2, New York Dolls. I'm a fan of all 3 of these bands. I like all 3 of them.
Yep.
You know, New York Dolls debut, Personality Crisis. I liked. Vietnamese Baby was good. Bad Girl. I liked. Looking for a Kiss was good. Now, Looking for a Kiss and Bad Girl. Those 2 songs. I can see where the Sex Pistols got their influence from this group. Now, when I played these two songs, when I was listening to these 2 songs, remind me. Yeah, I can picture the Sex Pistols doing these songs, but I know New York Dolls came out first, so it's the Sex Pistols adopting their style. You know, getting influenced by the New York Dolls. So those 2 songs I could definitely do. And also, there's another song here, it's Subway Train. Kind of remind me of a Stone song, Subway Train. You know, I don't know if you're familiar with that song on here when you were listening
Sorry,
to the
Bill's
tracks.
texting me. I got to
Okay.
turn my text mode.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Subway Train. It reminded me of a Stone song, Rolling Stone song.
Okay.
That kind of a style. It was like a bluesy
Right.
kind of thing. And I don't know if you.
Well, the
you
Stones
remember.
were big influences.
Right.
on
But I'm just
everybody.
saying. So that's kind of song. But there's about 4 songs that I like on here. I like Personality Crisis, Looking for a Kiss, Vietnamese Baby, and Bad Girl. Everything else is just okay for me. Desolation Boulevard. I'm a big Sweet fan. I love Sweet. Ballroom Blitz was on here, right? Sweet F.A., which I know is a
Right.
favorite of both of ours. Fox on the Run was another big hit. Set Me Free was good. Into the Night was really good. So there's like 5 songs I like on here. I just like the. There's no Violations on here. There would have been Violations on the Europe version because they did My Generation. Actually, did a cover of My Generation on the. But there's no Violations on the U.S. release. So I like 5 tracks on here. So I'm blasting Sweet, Desolation Boulevard. I'm fixing New York Dolls debut album, and I'm dumping the T-Rex Electric Warrior. Time's yours.
Okay. Now to bring some sanity into this mix. No. We put these out, so we want to discuss different groups and different
Yes,
things.
Scott, I agree with you. Jeepster is a great song, but the album as a whole, I mean, comparing it to the other 2, I just didn't. That's why I dumped it. You know, there just wasn't enough good stuff on there.
So, the who was it? Richard said he never got the New York Dolls, and to a point, I always found the New York Dolls interesting. I was never a fan. I found the music interesting. David Johansen's voice, not so much. And which was crazy when he became Buster Poindexter.
Right, yeah.
Hot.
Right,
It was
right.
like, oh, his voice is tolerable now.
Right.
I think the New York Dolls, with a different singer, would have blew up
Probably.
big time. I
Right.
know David Johansen was part of the personality and everything in the band, but I had this album when I was a kid, and I had the second one, Too Much Too Soon, and I never.
But like I said, the songs that I noted that sounded like the Sex Pistols on here.
But they were influential, and we wanted to mention them on Friday Night
Right,
Vinyl.
right.
And I'm trashing them.
You're trashing the New York Dolls. Okay.
I'm trashing the New York Dolls.
Okay.
And I'm trashing them basically because put a different singer in there, and this stuff would have kicked butt, in my opinion. And who cares about that? Okay, so let's go to T-Rex. One of the things about a lot of albums that were big in England during the early 70s that weren't big in the U.S., bands like Status Quo, and even like Thin Lizzy and T-Rex is another one where the production, I just felt that these bands were heavier live,
right,
and
right.
it just never, it was never captured in the studio. And like,
Well,
you get
early,
Thin
this
Lizzy's
was
flat-
1971.
Right,
you
I know it. So for me, I'm going to be fixing T-Rex.
Okay.
And the reason, first off, the one song you didn't mention, which is a song that's in like a lot of movies now more than ever, is
Okay.
Cosmic Dancer.
I didn't care for it.
Okay.
Didn't care for it.
Get it on. And the songs that you mentioned, Jeepster. And,
Right.
And I like T-Rex.
I like the Motivator too. That was a good song over
Yeah.
there that I wasn't that familiar with. That I came across.
T-Rex was more. I mean, this is I have a T-shirt of this album cover. I mean,
Right.
this and what's the other one? Not Tanks. Electric War. Wait, this is
Electric Warrior. Yeah.
What's the other one that has his face? But they're two
Oh yeah,
iconic
yeah. I
covers.
know what you mean. Yeah, I know which one you're talking about. I can't remember.
So for me, I'm blasting Sweet, Ballroom Blitz, Fox on the Run, two big hits, and the fact that 45s were out then. I'll bet if they said how many 45s did those sell, they sold a ton.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they were probably one more hit from this album that would have probably propelled this album into a lot more sales. But Ballroom Blitz, the 16s, and
Scott said Mott the Hoople fits the bigger in Britain than U.S.
well, the funny thing is this, Scott.
Do you want to tell him?
Yeah, we have, in place of the New York Dolls, I have Mott the Hoople here, but I really, at first I had one album, and I
Yeah,
said,
we were going to put Mott the Hoople in this group instead of the New York Dolls.
and then
but
the album that I picked
changed his mind.
had a bunch of songs I wasn't familiar with. Then I looked at all the young dudes, and it was just that, and I was trying to pick like the Hoople or this, and I'm just like, you know what? I got pissed that I couldn't pick the right Mott the Hoople album fit this group, so I threw the New York Dolls in there. And that's really the truth. I mean, we had texts going back and forth. I said, game change. Yeah, I'm dumping the Hoople.
Yeah,
but
and
Mott the Hoople
and this
was
was-
originally in this.
And this was Thursday. You
Yeah.
were texting me,
Yeah,
and I
'cause-
told him you that was a violation.
because to me it just came.
No
to
changes after Wednesday.
Yeah.
but we did it anyway.
Yeah, so you're absolutely right there on Mott the Hoople would affect this mix better. So you know what? I will deduct 1 point from Team Ed.
Okay.
All right. So now we're going to do our first batch to continue with glam. I'd say this person was the glam of glam.
Well, the most popular of glam. Put
Yes.
it this way. Most notable of glam.
Yeah,
era.
this is a little guy named David Bowie.
Just a little guy. Yeah.
So
little
we-
skinny little
Yeah.
dude.
So we put up 3 songs on the group page this week, and I also have the results as of this afternoon. Which so we have Changes, Ziggy Stardust, and Space Oddity.
Okay.
So
So what did our group like?
we'll go with the group first. So the group was blasting Ziggy.
Mm-hmm.
The group was and I'm so we didn't ask him this way, but the most votes was your blast.
Right.
Space Oddity came in second, so we're fixing that. And Changes did not get as many votes, so Changes came in third.
Okay. Well, for me, Ed, Ziggy was my number one out of these 3. But I'm flip flopping. I like Changes better than Space Oddity. Space Oddity was a little. It was a little slow, like ground control, the major. It was like it's
And
a good song. Don't get me wrong.
And Changes rocks.
But Changes was a little more upbeat, a little more. Space Oddity was a little slow and mundane, boring kind of thing. Changes was a little more upbeat.
I mean, you got Changes, and then you got June, 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 June. You got clapping in Space Oddity.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, for the clap. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay.
But I understand you're going with Changes because Rick
It's a little-
Wakeman played piano.
Yeah, that's probably why.
As you can tell, my selection is different than his.
Okay, so anyway, Ziggy Stardust, I'm blasting out of the 3. I like Changes as the second choice out of here, and Space Oddity, but I love all 3 songs. But if I had to pick my top 1, 2, 3 on here, would be Ziggy, Changes, and Space Oddity. You're up.
I'm just going to tell Robert that I'm not going to take it anymore. So for me, I kind of flip-flopped him. I took Space Oddity. I blasted Space Oddity. And I fixed the Ziggy Stardust, and Changes for me came at the end. And again, it's not... There are 3 songs. Like when we do this next year, we're going to be doing 3 different songs by different groups that are really more like 3 iconic songs
Right.
by each one of those groups to really fight it out, because here it's kind of like,
I mean, it depends on your taste, too.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
yeah,
it's
and
like...
your taste is horrible.
Right,
It's
whatever.
like-
Yeah.
So, hey, that was a good time to pour half a glass of the whiskey, because nobody can see it.
Nobody can see me, right?
because of
my
this.
timing is great.
Yes, it is. So, let's move on to our next group. And
That's why I poured.
And I already know that
Yeah, with one person.
that I've got at least a Team Ed vote on this one.
Now, for this next group...
Whoa!
For this next group, this is why I bought the big bottle for this week, just because
And
of this group.
I don't get it.
You
I
know,
don't get
it's
it.
like, okay, well, let's do a setup for this. At the end of our show every night, we kind of try to set up the following week's show. You know, while we're here, so we go through albums. Okay, what are we going to do next week? So we think, okay,
By the end of the show,
Yeah,
these are
right.
usually empty.
So anyway, we'll say, okay, we'll do these three, this week, blah, 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 blah. And then we don't always come with a complete list. So during the week, so Ed sends me the list. Okay, this is our show for this week. He texts it to me, and you know, I looked at it. You know, I just glanced at it. I'm like, okay, looks good. Not realizing he's throwing 3 Supertramp albums in the mix.
And here they are.
And here they are. So I send him a kind of a text with the finger, like, "Oh, you snuck these 3 in on me, didn't you?" You know.
And I took a selfie of
You
myself
took yourself yourself
and
and
figured right back at
give
him.
me the finger right back. Okay. So anyway,
And I'm this is a guy who listens to Styx and Journey. And
but I don't
he's-
listen to Supertramp.
And he's got issues with Supertramp. Really?
You bloody well right. I did.
Oh my God!
I had to throw that in there. Sorry.
Speaking of crime of the century, oh my
Crisis?
Lord.
What crisis?
You
This
should-
is a crisis.
You should be in an asylum.
So anyway, we got Supertramp in our next Blast Trash and Fix. All 3 Supertramp albums.
I stuck a couple.
This is
albums in
fun.
here tonight.
This is fun. Okay, so we got Crime of the Century
500,000
debut
Wait,
album,
hold on.
1974.
No, it's not their debut album.
It's not their debut. Oh, I thought
No.
I thought that came up.
No, Supertramp was their debut album.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Indelible Stamp was their
I'm sorry.
second.
Okay,
It's all right.
this is how much I know about Supertramp.
Yeah,
Okay.
you did your homework. Let me
Okay.
know.
Yeah, I did. So anyway, what's the next one, Ed? Even in the quietest moments. Another Supertramp.
Yes.
No, Supertramp.
Yes.
No, Supertramp. And we got Crisis. What Crisis?
I'm going to let you go first.
Oh, gee, thanks. Oh, this was 1975. Crisis was Crisis, 1975.
All right.
Even in the quietest moments was 77, and Crime of the Century 74.
Right,
So it was
and-
74, 75, 77.
Very nice.
Okay, so I'm going first. Let's see. Let's go with the one I didn't like out of these 3. I didn't like Even in the Quietest Moments out of the 3. I'm dumping this. Give a little bit, and Even in the Quietest Moments were the only 2 songs that I really liked on here. But that's about it. No, I'm not blasting all 3. Team Ed, Lenny needs to expand his musical taste. Okay, you can trash me. I don't care. I don't care. I'm not a Supertramp fan, so I would, if it was up to me, I would trash all 3 of these albums.
Don't stop believing.
I would
That's-
trash.
that's good.
I would thank you, Vince. I got Vinny. Thank you very much. I would trash all 3 of these. So can I trash all?
You
3?
did make
I can't-
cookies for Vinny.
I can't trash all. Yeah, I did. I did send him cookies. So anyway, I like give a little bit, and even in the quietest moments, everything else is crap on here. So I'm dumping this. I'm even going to. Okay. Let's see. Crisis. What Crisis? I liked a soapbox opera. Sister Moonshine was a maybe for me. I liked Lady. I liked The Meaning. So there's like 3 songs I liked and 1 maybe kind of thing. So I'm fixing that one. And Crime of the Century. I'm blasting. I mean, I like 3 songs over here too, but I have to say about Crime of the Century. I mean, School. I love School, and that's probably my favorite song by them.
Okay.
Is School, and what a way to open an album up with that song. I love that song. Bloody Well Right, it follows that up with that good. And Dreamer was another popular song by them. So just based on the quality of those 3 songs on here, everything else was So I'm blasting that. So I'm blasting Crime of the Century based off of School, Bloody Well Right, and Dreamer. I'm fixing Crisis What Crisis because, I don't know. And I'm trashing Even in the Quietest Moments because I only like 2 of the 7 songs on here. And that's it. You're lucky I'm even doing that. So get it, Ed.
All right. So before I annihilate you, okay, I will give you credit
Wow.
for not trashing Crisis What Crisis. Now,
Why you give me credit for that?
I did trash Crisis What Crisis, but
Why
as
you-
a Supertramp fan, I will tell you that Crisis What Crisis is a hidden gem in the discography of Supertramp.
Well, I
you
blasted
missed.
I blasted
You
No, I didn't. I'm
fixed it.
sorry. I fixed it. I'm sorry.
But
What did I miss?
you missed a big song on that album.
What's that?
Another Man's Woman is a great song.
I listened to all these, Ed. I listened to all these.
Wow.
I just don't, I didn't like it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. So come on, let's.
All right, okay. So there's some Team Lenny's out there. Okay, your words are hurtful, but I'll power through this. Okay.
Thanks, Paul. I got Paul and a Vinny. I'm
look at
surprised.
this. But
I'm
look at this.
surprised.
I'm blasting
I'm shocked.
Crime of the Century. Because
So was I. So did
side
I.
one, I know.
I did that.
I know. Side
Okay.
one, so I was proud of you there too.
School.
School
is a
Bloody
tremendous
Well
song.
Right.
I'll give credit where credit is due.
Hide in Your Shell is a great song. Asylum, great song. Then you go to Dreamer and Rudy. If everybody was listening, it's like, okay, and Crime of the Century is all right. But the first 6 songs on that album are really strong. Give a little bit, and even in the quietest moments, great songs, and interesting. Wow. We're checking the Flyer score right now.
They're up 4-2 with 18 seconds to go.
Nice. But side 2 is a very hidden stuff. I guess you're not a deep track person.
No,
but side 2.
I am a deep track person. It depends on the group.
Yeah, Journey. Okay. Deep track. Mother, Father. All right. So
Yes,
Baja
Mike,
B,
there will be a game 6, but
Baja B, From Now On, and Fool's Overture are great songs.
Bisbee was a second tier song for me. That was decent.
So-
but I just didn't do anything for me.
So-
I'm sorry.
All right. So we're going to move on to the next one.
Sorry.
Trust me, it's going to get heavier. It's going to get more interesting after this. I'm prefacing this because
Yeah, hang in there because
I snuck something in here, and I'll take all the damn heat from any of you son of a bitches that
But
want
you
to
know
give it
what,
to
Ed?
me.
You're going to be shocked when we do this next one. You're going to
Oh.
be freaking shocked.
Oh wait,
You're going to be shocked, and
Hold
you know
on.
why.
Hold on. I have a feeling I know why.
I'm going to shock you.
I'm already going to pour. I'm
You're going to be
pouring.
shocked and awed,
I'm-
as Mr. Trump would
I'm
say.
ready. I'm ready to like.
You
Put
ready
on
for-
Ace Frehley?
Are you ready
and
for-
start singing "Shock Me"?
Make me
look at
feel
that video.
better.
A kiss.
Wow.
A kiss reference.
See, he's a closet kiss freak,
yeah.
Vinny. Closet kiss freak.
Quiz.
Kiss.
There we go. Quiz.
La, la, la.
All right. So here we go.
Robert said, "Don't stop believing."
Yeah. So.
So what do we got? What's our next set?
So the albums before we pop them up, just so it's understood, the albums in this segment sold 4 million, 10 million, and 3 million. Okay?
Okay.
So, the first one up. This is going to be a little different for Friday Night Vinyl, so just hang
Yeah.
in there for this one.
But it's
I bet you like
But it's
these
classic
ones.
vinyl stuff, so that's what we're going to do.
Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Now this is their debut,
This is their debut.
1969.
Yep, no Young.
No Young,
Yep,
just Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
which is what Neil means in Canadian. No. Uh-oh, that's right, we got...
Robert, yeah.
It's all right, Robert, I'm still Team Ed. Anyway. Any other...
4 million sales, right?
4
This
million
one, 4
sales,
times
yeah.
platinum, right?
Yes.
Okay. 1969. Next up, Bridge Over Troubled Water, Simon and Garfunkel, 1970.
10 million albums. sold.
Wow.
Yes.
10 million albums. And last but not least, A Song for You by the Carpenters. Now this is the one you said you snuck in on me.
I saw 3 million.
3 million.
Okay, because in my eyes, Karen can sing "Row, Row, Row Your Boat." She had a great voice.
She did have a good voice.
Okay,
Did have a good voice.
so I'll go first in the later segments. I'll let you go first on this one too.
Okay.
Because
Because I'm going to shock you.
I'm going to be shocked.
You know where I'm going with this.
I
Right?
have a feeling.
You know where I'm going with. Okay, so I always like to start with my dump. Okay.
Don't we? Don't we
with-
all start our day with a good
Not with
dump?
not with a dump. I like to start the last trash.
Wow,
and
he
fix
shocked me already.
dump. Okay. Bridge Over Troubled Water, Simon Garfunkel. There's actually Ed. There's actually 2 violations on one song on here. Bye Bye Love was a live recording. That's another violation. No live
Right.
recordings on the studio album.
Mhm.
That's another violation of mine. So that's a 3rd violation.
Well, he did it before the Cars did it.
Okay, whatever. Bye Bye Love was a live recording from Iowa, Ames, Iowa. It's also a cover song, so that's a Ben Powell violation.
Michael Finn's going to go put on black leather. You know why? Because after the Carpenters, I usually get hell bent for leather.
Or Shock Me, put on your black leather.
Is that what
I don't know. I don't know what he's referencing. Yeah, shock me, make me feel better. Shock me, put on your black leather. That's the lyrics of the Shock Me song that you referenced. That you Kiss referenced.
All right.
Okay, so anyway, there's 2 violations on this. Anyway, so whatever. There's 4 songs. Bridge Over Troubled Water was good. El Condor, Pasa, whatever, If I Could. Cecilia, The Boxer. They're the songs that I liked on here.
But let's put it this way.
Okay.
These aren't 4 good songs. These are 4 iconic.
Iconic songs. Okay, they're iconic songs.
All right.
But there's 11 tracks on here.
Yes, and
All right, but I only like 4. There's 4 iconic tracks. We're taking the album as a whole.
right, and this is what happens with these albums.
This
It has
album as
the
a
one
whole.
hit.
Right.
You know how I said the album has one hit.
Well, back in the day, I mean, like now,
By the time you get to the
you
fourth
can go
hit-
buy go
Right.
buy 4 tracks off of it on iTunes and forget about the rest of the album. Now, back in the day, you couldn't. If you wanted to listen to that song, you either bought the single, you had to buy the album, right? So this is how it worked back then. So anyway, I'm trashing this. That's all I like off of there. I'm actually blasting the Carpenters. I'm blasting the Carpenters, A Song for You. I'm blasting the Carpenters, buddy. There is there is just right, but there's a I'm sorry. There's a violation on here.
You are near.
There's an instrumental.
Just like me. Well, continue.
Okay.
They long to be
Close to
you.
So anyway, so A Song for You is good. Top of the World. Hurting Each Other. It's going to take some time.
We do go on hurting each other.
yeah.
yes.
I Won't Last a Day Without You.
Or without food.
Without food. Oh, that was a low blow.
I know.
That was a low blow. Okay.
I'm a,
So anyway, there's 5 songs I really like on here, but there's 13 tracks. There's 5 songs I like. I'm blasting this album. Of the 3, I was shocked. I thought I would be blasting the Crosby, Stills, and Nash album when I first saw the list, but there's actually, there's 5 songs I like off of here. And it's
1,
real-
2, 3,
very
4,
strong.
5, 6. Give me the 5 songs on the Carpenters again. I want to see which one you missed.
I like A Song for You, Top of
Okay.
the World, Hurting Each Other. It's going to take some time, and I Won't Last the Day Without You.
Oh, so
They're
you
the
don't
5
you
that
don't
I
like,
like.
I say goodbye to love.
No,
Or
I didn't
Bless
care.
the bees
I didn't care.
and the-
I didn't care for it.
Okay.
Didn't care for it. So okay. So anyway, Crosby, Stills, and Nash. I'm fixing. Sweet Judy Blue Eyes. I love
Coming
that.
up next.
I love
Wasp.
I love that song. Yeah, Sweet Judy Blue Eyes. I love. Again, you're going to laugh at me. The live version from the Woodstock album is one of the best live vocal performances I've ever seen.
Okay, yes, the vocals.
Oh my
yes.
God! Them doing that live at Woodstock was tremendous. If anybody, everybody that watches the show, I'm sure they saw it. They had to see it. But okay. So anyway, Marrakesh Express was off of here. Wooden Ships I like. Long Time Gone was another really good song that I really like by them. But there's really only 4 tracks I like off of here of the 10. So I'm fixing this, but I'm blasting the Carpenters, and I'm dumping Simon and Garfunkel. That shocked me. That totally
This is
shocked
going
me.
to shock our audience before we move on to the good stuff. I too am trashing Simon and Garfunkel because, again, same thing as Lenny. To me, these are 4 iconic songs, and that's what propelled this album to 10 million. And the other stuff is good stuff for the whole theme of the album. But Bridge Over Troubled Water, If I Could, Cecilia the Boxer are iconic songs.
Yeah, they are.
They're going to be around forever.
Yes.
They're great tunes. Can't take nothing away from it. I like Sweet Judy Blue Eyes, Marrakesh Express. I like Guinevere, Wooden Ships.
Guinevere was a little
Yeah.
too slow for me.
Once in a while,
Yeah,
every once in a while, I like to bring it down. I
Okay.
like Eddie to be like down here a little bit, as opposed to constantly like on 3 cans of caffeine
Okay.
and helplessly hoping.
Okay.
Also, but for me, I am blasting the Carpenters, A Song for You, which is a Leon Russell. It is a cover.
I missed that one.
Yes,
Okay.
it's
I saw he
it's
wrote
orig-
it, but I wasn't sure if
It's
if
originally by
he
Leon
recorded it.
Russell,
Okay.
who
That
wrote
was violation.
Simon
Oh,
Walker.
I got to change my vote. Oh, wait a minute. There's
So-
a violation. No, I'm okay.
So, I mean, people constantly talk about the Donny Hathaway version of that song, which was good, but I mean, I like the Leon Russell version from the get-go because it's raw and he struggles with the vocals a bit, and it just sounds more pure. But Karen Carpenter sings it all good, Hurting Each Other, all the good stuff on here. So, for me, I'm blasting the Carpenters, and I finally got the Carpenters on on Friday Night Vinyl.
Okay.
Yes, we all have our closet thing that we like, and I like Barry Manilow too.
We're not getting him
But we're
on
not
here.
going to get Barry
No.
Manilow on here.
No, that's a violation.
You know,
so you're blasting the Carpenters, you're fixing...
Crosby, Stills, Nash.
So we're in agreement.
We are in
Wow.
agreement. Wow.
Well,
This is a perfect time to take a break to maybe go for a little stroll.
let's do that.
So coming up after this, we've got a Beatles and Stones face-off on songs. Well, they're not facing off against each other. We're doing a segment of the Stones songs, a segment of the Beatles songs. Then we're doing a bunch of greatest hits versus greatest hits albums.
Right.
And we're picking probably some of the biggest selling greatest hits albums of all time and wrestling with
It's tough. It
which
was tough.
one's
It was
best.
tough.
Which one's best.
Right.
So this next video is the Yardbirds doing Dazed and Confused with a young Jimmy Page.
Cool.
And we're back, and we're cut off because we're going to be doing songs.
Because we're going to be
again.
pouring more whiskey.
Yes.
We don't want anybody to
Right.
say.
So Ben, okay, I'll give you this. Jimmy Page on the Telecaster, no. But the Telecaster is the ultimate blues guitar. Okay, it gives you the proper blues sound. But for me, I would say at the end of the day, I would prefer Jimmy Page's songs on a Les Paul. It's just like I would prefer Roger Gilmore on a Stratocaster. It's just certain songs are made for certain people. So I'll give you that. And am I live here? Just want to see where we are here. What's going on here? All right, hold on one second while I try to just figure out what is. Oh, okay, we're
We're good.
there.
Yeah, we're good.
I
Don't ask Siri anything.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey, Schmitty, how you doing, pal?
All
Thanks
right.
for joining in.
So, the next batch of songs are three
Rolling
Stone
Stones.
songs
Yep.
that we put up there, and we put it. This is another one we put up on.
We put up on the.
Whoop.
No, that's not the right one.
And there we go.
There we go.
So, I'm going to pull up with the group.
Yeah, what did the group think of these three songs, Ed, before we go into our critiquing?
So, the group on this voted Bitch #1, Rocks Off #2, and Star Star, which is also known as Starfucker,
Right.
as #3, because I don't think a lot of people really know that song, but that's a really great Stone song. But anyway,
Okay, so let me go first.
Yes.
I agree with the group. Totally
hey
agree.
Smitty,
Hey, Schmidt.
go Sewers.
Yeah, go sue yours tomorrow afternoon. So that's translation. That's the Sixers. So anyway, I agree with our group, Ed. Bitch is the best out of these three. I like Rocks Off second. Star. I think if it wasn't for the star fucker thing of the song, I wouldn't have really got that much attention. I think the only reason why that song got the attention was because of the obscenity in it.
Oh, the tricks with fruit. It's kind of cute.
Well,
I bet
whatever.
you keep your pussy clean.
Okay, whatever. The lyrics, okay, so, it's just like you were talking about Two Live Crew with that song. They put obscenities in it, and they got all this attention, but the album sucked. The song wasn't, compared to the other two songs.
It's a good
song's
straightforward
okay.
rock
The
song.
song's okay. It's okay. It wasn't for the star effort part of it. It wouldn't have got that much attention.
Look at you, good Catholic boy.
Right, it wouldn't have got that much attention.
Star
So I like Bitch, Rocks Off second.
But you
just
throw
in the
Bitch
order
out there,
but
right?
just in the order that you have it, that's in the order where it should be.
Okay.
Time's yours.
For me, Rocks Off, #1. First off, Rocks Off has some of the best lines in it. The sunshine bores the daylights out of me. It's a great song. It just
Wow, I get it. Wow.
Yeah.
Sunshine and daylights.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
and
That's very profound.
it is profound. And I am fixing Star Star, and how I'm fixing it, I'm putting more profanities in there. It's like, you know what? F this, more. Bitch. Now I like Bitch. Now one of the things today was somebody was saying about, this is like Mick Taylor's biggest thing. I think Mick Taylor's biggest was Midnight Rambler Live on the Get Your Yayas album out. But the thing about Bitch that's right up there is Bitch was the perfect blending of the Stones with horns, and I do agree that song,
But you're dumping the song.
I'm dumping it because I'm comparing it to these other two. But so it's my third favorite Stone song. Bitch and All Down
You're
the
the
Line.
one who picked these
Right.
three.
Bitch and All Down the Line off of Exile Main Street are probably the two best horn-oriented songs that just blast
Okay.
out the horn section with
All
the
right.
Stones still being the Stones in it. So that's that.
Okay.
So now we go on to our
The Beatles.
Beatles, and we picked these three songs. And do you mind if I go
picked
first?
it. Yeah, you can. Yeah, sure.
Did you-
Well, what was the group? Oh, that's right. We didn't do this on the group.
No, we did not do
We
this
did
on the group.
So first of all, let me just run down the three songs. Eleanor Rigby was off of Revolver. Am I correct? No. Rubber Soul.
Okay.
Rubber Soul. Dear Prudence was off the White Album. And Lady Madonna wasn't on any album. It was just released as a single. And do you happen to know what the B-side of that single was?
Lady Madonna
Yeah.
was like In Here or something.
No,
like
it was called The Inner Circle.
Okay,
It was like a
I did-
sitar,
yeah.
George Harrison
Yeah.
kind of song. And it was later put on that the Beatles did some kind of compilation album in 1970 called Hey Jude. And it appeared on there, like an
Christoph,
album.
welcome.
Hey,
Glad to see you.
Christoph. But it didn't really appear on any album. But I figured I wanted to get a ladies' theme with a Dear Prudence, an Eleanor Rigby, and a Lady Madonna. So that's the theme I was going with.
Interesting.
Okay.
Interesting. Because I actually did some. When you gave me these three songs,
Mhm.
I really had to like wrestle with it. I had to listen to them, and I had
Okay.
to dig a little deeper. And this
Okay.
is this you're going to find unusual for me. I
Cool.
actually did some investigations on the songs.
Cool. I'm glad you did.
First off, Dear Prudence is about Mia Farrow's sister. Okay, Prudence.
Right. I
Farrow,
remember hearing about that.
where she was involved with the sexy the Maharishi or whatever
Right,
it was
right,
there,
right.
and she got really deep into it.
Mhm.
And George Harrison and John Lennon were like assigned her to like look, she's taking this a little too far here.
Right.
And again, I call him off the White Album. Which
Well, what
the White Album,
relationship to the Beatles did she have?
she was just George and John when they were out on that Maharishi thing.
Oh,
they were assigned to her
okay,
because
gotcha.
they were concerned about. They were the only two that she really trusted. She
Oh,
was
okay.
going deep off her rocker.
Right.
Okay.
Gotcha.
Okay. Lady Madonna, as I look at it, and I investigate on it, it's basically it started off to be something about Mother Mary type of thing,
Mm-hmm.
but it really evolved into a single mother in Liverpool type of thing.
Right.
Doing all this.
Lady
And
children at your feet.
One of the things when
Wonder how you managed
Yep.
to make ends meet.
Yep.
Yeah.
So when Paul was writing the words down when they were doing a live show, like a TV show or something, he was writing the words down. That's when he realized he had every day of the week, but Saturday. So he kind of just equipped, Saturday they had a day off.
Mhm. Right.
But that's how that went. And Eleanor Rigby was also about an area, and on the Wikipedia page they actually have the gravestone of the Eleanor Rigby, and it's just kind of things that he saw around town and everything. And it was all the Father McCartney and
Right.
picking up
Mackenzie.
Mackenzie,
Father Mackenzie. Yeah.
and all that stuff. So for me, I did find this an interesting mix. I was like, wow, Lenny, not knowing, he gave me something really brilliant here because he was just
How did-
picking a lady theme. I thought these
Not
songs were
knowing.
very well. Okay, so it was kind of that was a back.
Don't give me any credit. Right.
That
That's
was
a backhanded
a compliment.
compliment.
Yes.
Yeah.
So for me, because you're just like, come on, Ed, get on with it. I'm blasting Eleanor Rigby. I am fixing Lady Madonna, and I'm trashing Dear Prudence. But I really like these three song selections, and it really made me think and made me do some homework because I just couldn't.
Now,
Eleanor Rigby stood out to me when you first gave me the list, but
Yeah,
it was more the other two. So
right.
but-
So when I gave you these three, I mean, because he did three, he wanted to do three Stones songs because everybody that watches the show knows he's a more of a Stones fan. I'm more Beatles. That's the way we get along. And so he says, "Oh, I'm going to pick three Stones songs out,
Right.
and I'll pick three Beatles songs."
and there's
Now,
a
I could've
subliminal
went
message here called lead.
Lead.
Yes.
Well, too bad it wasn't Len. I mean,
Should
So-
have Nowhere Man in there.
Yeah, right. So anyway, I'm trying to think like what the hell kind of theme. I wanted to put like some kind of theme. I could have put like Help, Hard Day's Night, and threw something like
Right,
that at
Yellow
you. But
Submarine.
yeah, whatever. Yeah.
Right.
Or crap like Yellow Submarine, Octopus's Garden, and like three like quirky kind of songs. I could have done.
Right.
I couldn't fit.
But you
nothing.
did Ladies.
But that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
But then I came up with these. I was like, okay.
Yeah, this was good.
Okay. All right.
I'm proud
Dear
of you.
Prudence. I love Dear Prudence.
I
Off
feel
the White
some
Album.
of me has rubbed off on you.
Okay, I love
I'm
Dear
happy.
Prudence off the White Album. It's one of my favorite songs off the White Album. Eleanor Rigby's iconic. Lady Madonna is another nice song. But I'm surprised. I thought you would trash Lady Madonna of these three.
But to be honest with you, I thought
When I first gave you these,
I-
I really thought you would.
I kind of thought I did too, but I listened to both of the songs because my initial thing was Eleanor Rigby, Dear Prudence. But I
Right.
listened to Lady Madonna and I was like,
right. So
Yeah.
so for me, you blasted Eleanor Rigby.
Mhm.
I mean, how can you not of these
Right.
three? I mean, that's an
I would
iconic
go to Lonely
song.
People.
Yeah, I mean, it's a really tremendous
Mm-hmm.
song. McCartney sung and wrote. I mean, it's it. So anyway, but I'm fixing I like Dear Prudence, and I'm dumping Lady Madonna.
was
So
a-
I'm kind of going a little bit different than you, but you know, Lady Madonna is a great song
Right,
too. I mean, all three of these
right.
songs are really good, but I like Dear Prudence. I like the way the song starts out slow and it kind of builds a little bit.
And look, all the
and I
stuff
just-
we're trashing tonight, we love. I mean, I
Right,
know secretly you love that Supertramp album you trash.
Well, that I can't, you know. So no. So anyway, so we're kind of we're blasting the same song. We're flip flop on the other two. So
Yes. So, let's go here. And let me open up to the correct page.
all right. So now we're going into our greatest hits segment of the show. So we the next two sets of three songs we're going to blast, trash, and fix are probably iconic greatest hits albums that we're going to pit against one another.
Yeah, the first
I mean,
group of greatest hits is kind of like the mid-level
like, yeah, like
iconic.
second tier iconic,
The
and then the
second set are the iconic of the iconics.
Yeah, right.
Greatest hits albums.
Right, but they were still hard. Even with this next set we're going to do, it was hard.
Okay,
It was
so
hard.
this set here sold 35 million sales, and just to give you an idea, the segment after that sold 79 million sales. So
Right.
we're going to go in here, and with the first one,
All right, so we have Steve Miller Band Greatest Hits. This was Greatest Hits from '74 to '78. It was released in 1978.
and 14 million sold.
Yeah. Right.
Yep.
Okay. Next one is the Best of the Doobies.
10 million.
This was released in 1976. And last but not least, this is the Greatest Hits of James Taylor,
11 million.
1976. So we got a set, two 76s and a 78. Okay, so are you ready to rumble? All
Yeah.
right, Vinny. What are you rumbling about, pal?
sold. We didn't see the list yet, so he's still there.
Oh,
wait,
okay.
Why is that doing that?
I don't know. I'm good.
There we go. Come on.
Vinny's ready to rumble. Can you elaborate there, Vince?
He wants us to argue.
Oh, you want us to argue?
Probably,
I don't know.
yeah.
If we're going to be rumbling with these. Maybe
see.
the next set we might be, but
Yeah.
who knows? Okay, so anyway, so I guess I'll go first.
I can go first if you want.
No. Well,
Okay, yeah.
you know, when we're just doing a show together, I think I've been going first, and you've been telling me how wrong I am. You
I
know,
kinda
that's
like
how-
that.
You kind of like that, right? So anyway, like I said, I like. I don't know how to rephrase this, but I like to do my dump first.
Always about
Always
the dump.
about the dump, yeah.
The dump. About
So
the
of these
lovely
three,
lady dumps.
I mean, don't get me wrong. These are, I mean, you know, all respect to all three of these groups: Steve Miller Band, Doobie Brothers, and James Taylor. All respect to all three of them. So, I mean, just because I'm trashing one of the three doesn't mean I don't like that person or group. Okay. So, so of these three, I'm trashing James Taylor's greatest.
So James
hits.
Taylor, if you're listening tonight,
Yeah,
and he means no offense.
no offense, pal.
Yes.
But I can't stand your greatest hits out.
Yes.
No, so anyway, Fire and Rain, You've Got a Friend, How Sweet It Is, you know, To Be Loved by You.
I think there's a lot of Ben Powell violations on this album.
Yeah, well, Carole King, You Got a Friend. So that's Carole King wrote that song. Did she originally record You Got a Friend?
Isn't that a George Harrison song?
No, something in the way she. No, not the way she
okay.
sings it. George Harrison was just called Something.
Oh, okay, right.
This is something in the way she. But that's in the lyric. But
Right.
that's not a. That's not a George Harrison song.
Close
I
enough.
don't know. You've Got a Friend. Was that a Carole King original? He
Yeah.
did the cover. Okay, so that's a violation anyway.
Yeah.
But it's a greatest hits album. So I'm going to let the violations go. So I like Fire and Rain, You've Got a Friend, How Sweet It Is to Be Loved by You, and Shower the People. Shower the People. Okay, so I like 4 songs. I mean, but this is a great. There's 12 tracks on here. It's a greatest hits album, and I only like 4 songs off of here. So of these 3, I gotta dump this album with the 3. Okay. So now these next 2 were close for me. Steve Miller's greatest hits, 74 to 78. Okay, so Swingtown came off of here. Jungle Love, Take the Money and Run.
Mm-hmm.
Rockin' Me, Keep on Rockin' Me, Baby, whatever it is. The Joker, Fly Like an Eagle, Jet Airliner.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, there's 14 tracks. Half of them are really, really good. I'm sure they were big hits for him. Really, really good. Best of the Doobie Brothers.
I think we're getting the Ben Powell Vinny Love Fest going.
Okay,
again.
good. Best of the Doobie Brothers, 1976. Okay, let me start. China Grove, Long Train Running, Taking It to the Streets, Listen to the Music, Blackwater, Rocking Down the Highway, Jesus Is Just Alright, It Keeps You Running, Take Me in Your Arms. There's 11 tracks on here I can blast 9 of these 11 tracks. The only two tracks I can do without is South City Midnight Lady and Without You. Everything else is just great on here. I love Michael McDonald, but he only really sung 2. He was only lead vocal on 2 of these tracks on this at this particular time.
Right.
So I'm blasting the Doobies. I love 9 of the 11 tracks on here. Love the Doobies. Love smoking the doobie back in the day, and I love listening to the Doobies.
Doobies on 420. Wow.
Yeah, right. Doobies on 420. Steve Miller Band had 7 tracks I really liked, but I'm fixing that and I'm dumping James Taylor. Ed, time's yours.
None of you misguided ignorant slut. Okay, first off on James Taylor. Carolina on my mind, Fire and Rain, Sweet Baby James, How Sweet It Is, Mexico, and Shower the People.
Mexico I didn't
Great
care
songs.
for.
Steamroller, kind of a traditional blues, cheap ADE type of song.
So how many songs did you actually like off of here? 5?
I like 7,
7.
okay? But I'm trashing it.
Okay. So did I.
So here's the scary part.
So how am I an ignorant slut letting you into a slut?
I was just throwing the people curve.
Oh, okay.
Because what's going to happen here is like
We're going to agree again.
on every reason,
Wow.
because I listed in bold Swingtown, Jungle Love,
Right.
Take the Money Run, Rockin' Me, The Joker,
Fly Like an Eagle,
Jet
Jet
Airliner.
Airliner. Right.
And I put in italics that these 2 songs are okay, so I kind of gave this a 7+. Dance, 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 and Wintertime.
Right.
But then we got to the Doobies, and I went China Grove, Long Train Running, Take It to the Street,
Right.
Listen to Music,
You gotta
Blackwater,
blast 9. Yeah.
Rocking Down the Highway,
Yeah.
Jesus is Just
Right.
Right. It keeps running.
Okay.
What did I skip?
No.
Southside Midnight Lady,
Okay.
Could Do It Out.
And Without
Take
You.
Me in Your Arms,
Right.
yes.
Without you. Could do without.
So-
yeah. We have.
There it is.
There it is. In black and white. Here we go. There it is.
We-
We agree.
We agree 100%.
And we don't compare notes before the show.
No, we don't. We don't even talk to each other.
No, we don't.
We have a hard time
We were
talking
watching
to
the
each other.
Flyers game before the show.
Yeah, yes, we were.
Yeah, that's weird. We don't like to discuss anything that we're about to talk about.
All right, I mean, I just hope I'm not. I just hope we're not interrupting Vinny and Ben right
Yeah,
now.
really.
Like,
Sorry, pal. You guys can go off on your own.
Yeah,
if you
get
want.
a freaking room.
So anyway, bet the Doobie Bro out of these 3. the Doobie.
yeah.
Okay, I'm sorry.
And Ben, don't forget, if you join later, we're going to do a tailgate for the ELO concert in August. So anybody else going to ELO, hey, get in touch with me somehow through message, through Facebook.
Right.
We're going to tailgate. We're going to do a blast, trash, and fix
We're
of
going to
ELO albums there.
Yeah, right. We're going to do it live. Everybody
Tailgating.
who shows up is
Yeah.
going to participate. It should be fun. We're going to go live, and
Yep.
it should be a blast. So anyway,
Right, go ahead.
to recap, Best of the Doobies blasting.
Yep.
Steve Miller fixing.
Yep.
And James Taylor we're dumping.
Absolutely.
Okay. We're in agreement. That's the second set we agree
Yeah.
with. Right.
And
Wow.
just so you preface, we're going to do one more set of greatest hits, but then the last 2 segments we're doing Queen, Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, Pink Floyd,
Bowie.
and Bowie. Okay,
Right.
Along with a song segment of Alice
Alice
Cooper.
Cooper stuff.
All right, so just to keep the interest for later here. Whoop! I have them all up here, so let's just hide them real quick because you did not see them
No, you did not.
because you were too busy texting Ben and Vinny. But as I said,
Ben said he'll bring the good stuff, whatever that means.
okay, all right.
We don't want to know until we get there. All right.
Surprise.
We'll leave it at that. Surprise us.
32, 51, 71. Yeah. These sold at least 79 million
Between the 3.
between the 3.
So,
So
so
let's start off with this one.
the Eagles' greatest hits from 71 to 75, released in 1976.
Sold 32 million copies worldwide. On jukeboxes, this CD is like the most requested, most played.
And it was the #1 selling album
well,
of all
greatest
time.
Well, greatest hits.
Oh, greatest
yeah.
hits album.
Yes.
Okay, I thought it was the #1 in the studio ever until a certain.
No.
Oh no, okay, it's just.
Well,
number one.
it may
But
have
for a greatest hits album, it sold 20 something. What was it?
Mm.
20 what million? I forget what you said.
32 million.
32 million for a greatest hits album.
Yep.
Come on.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Okay, next up is Elton John's greatest hits. This was released in 1974.
And sold 19 million.
Right, so this kind of stopped at the Caribou album.
Mhm.
That's where the cutoff was with this.
Yep. Now the interesting thing is, when I was a kid, I didn't have any Elton John albums, but I had this one.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't.
I had this one too.
I didn't have any Eagle albums,
Right.
but I had that one.
Okay.
So-
Well, I don't know about that, but I
Yeah.
definitely had the Elton
Yeah.
John. Definitely had that. And the third one is Legend, Bob Marley and the Wailers.
420, legend.
420. Hey, you got to keep it the
Rastaman.
theme. Now this was released in '84, so this kind of.
Yeah, it kind of goes by, but
But it
it
covers
sold 28 million
but
copies.
it covers albums from his releases from '73 to '83.
Mhm.
So kind of
Yep.
wide range there.
Let's be this way. This obviously this is the one out Bob Marley album that yeah.
Yes, Schmitty, I am going to ELO. So I guess I'll go first. Like again, huge respect for all three of these
Yeah,
artists.
so the person who's about the trash, or no, dump. 'Cause
Dump.
he always likes to take care of the dump first.
Yeah, huge respect for. I mean, I like the Eagles. I like Elton John, and I like Bob Marley. Even though Bob Marley was reggae, I love his sound. I mean, he was the original that made reggae famous. You know, the first artist that was popular. But I'm sorry, Ed. I'm apologizing to you. I don't know why I'm apologizing. Bob, I'm sorry. You know, your band was great. You did a lot of great stuff. But I mean, you're comparing the Eagles and Elton John's greatest hits to your greatest hits, and there's no comparison between the three for me. I mean, but off here, I'll go through the stuff I like.
But look at that though. Here's the interesting thing. Now, mind you, I had these two, the Eagles and Elton John on album back when I was a kid,
Right.
and I had Legend obviously on CD. And the reason why it has a lot more tracks on it because it came out as a CD.
Right.
But the Eagles sold 32 million, and 8 years later, and this album sold 28 million. So it.
Oh, it was a good. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
Bob Marley was huge.
Oh, yeah,
man.
yeah, and-
I love Bob Marley.
Yep,
Bob Marley was
okay.
great, but you're comparing him to these other two
Yep.
albums. It's hard. It's hard. So anyway, off this album, now it's the greatest hits album. Is This Love? No Woman, No Cry. Could You Be Loved? Three Little Birds. Get Up, Stand Up. One Love. People Get Ready. I Shot the Sheriff, which Clapton did. Right, he did a cover. Redemption Song. Jammin'. Really good. I mean, so that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So there's 9 tracks out of 14 that I like on here, but I'm dumping it. I'm dumping it because the other two albums,
How many tracks did you like?
I like 9 of the 9 of the 14. I didn't care for
Yeah.
Buffalo Soldiers, Stir It Up,
Really?
Waiting in Vain, Satisfy My Soul, and Exodus. They're the ones that I really didn't care for.
Well, we had 9, but we had a few different ones, so that's all
Yeah,
right.
okay, so anyway, so I'm dumping that only because, wow, there's not like one song I do not like on each of these other two albums.
Okay.
You know what I mean? I can't throw,
I decided not to.
but I'll tell you how I decided.
Okay, well, this is
I'll
going to
tell,
be
you how,
interesting.
I'll tell you how I decided between the two.
And I'll tell you how
Right?
I did too, because
I mean, to go through, I mean, every song on here was like, oh my God, it was like a big hit for each
Right.
group. So anyway, the Eagles, Take It Easy, Witchy Woman, Lion Eyes, Already Gone, Desperado, One of These Nights, To Kill a Sunrise, Take It to the Limit, Peaceful, Easy Feeling, and The Best of My Love. Okay, Elton John, we got Your Song, Daniel, Hunky Cat, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, Saturday Night's Alright for Fighting, Rocket Man, Benny and the Jets, Don't Let the Sun Go Down on Me, Border Song, and Crocodile Rock. Okay. Now the way I differentiated between the two, this is what I did. On Elton John's Greatest Hits, why isn't there anything off of Madman Across the Water on this Greatest Hits album? No Leave On, no Tiny Dancer, no Madman Across the Water. Right?
right.
Nothing off of this album made it to his Greatest Hits. How? How is that possible? Now, Madman Across the Water...
I think because they became bigger songs later.
But Madman
Yeah.
Across the Water for me is one of my favorite Elton John songs. I
Right.
love that song. But putting that aside, Leave On and Tiny Dancer were kind of popular songs for them. I mean, I would probably take the Border song off and probably add one of those 3 songs I mentioned off of Madman Across the Water. I mean, that's about the only thing I would fix on this album.
Well, the only thing that's not on here is Take Me to the Pilot also from the first. Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
But that's how I'm
Yeah.
fixing this. There's nothing that I can't take off of the Eagles' Greatest Hits that's already on here already. So I'm blasting the Eagles, and the reasons why I gave, that's the way I'm fixing the Elton John Greatest Hits. I'm adding something from Madman Across the Water album and taking off the Border song. And sorry Bob, but comparing you against these other two, I have to dump you. So that's the way I feel about that.
Yes, and Rasta, I have to trash Bob Marley too.
Right.
So for me, I agree. There's 10 songs on the Eagles. There's 10 songs on Elton John, and for me, it was kind of like I really based it off of. It came down to. It really came down to the silly thing because hey, it's. I agree, but I think back then, I think Madman Across the Water got bigger. Like
But Levi and
back
Tiny
in-
Dancer wasn't like. I mean, forget about.
I don't remember those songs on the radio. Every one of these songs I remember on the radio
Okay.
when I was a kid.
All right.
But I do agree. I'm not going to argue your statement there.
Okay.
I'm blasting Elton John
Wow.
and fixing the Eagles
Shocking.
because of Saturday Night's All Right for Fighting, Crocodile Rock, Benny and the Jets.
Yeah.
More upbeat like songs where a lot of songs on the Eagles. I mean, you do have Already Gone, Take It Easy is kind. But we're talking about. I'm rating Elton John's greatest hits like a 98.5, and I'm putting the Eagles like a 98.4.
But you got to realize this greatest hits came out before Hotel California, right? Hotel California came out after this was
Yeah.
released, right?
Yeah,
So just imagine
right,
how iconic Hotel California was,
right.
and they had a greatest hits album that sold 32 million
Well,
copies.
the long one had-
before
yeah.
that didn't even include anything from Hotel California.
Right. Yep. Yeah. So
All right,
yeah.
okay.
I mean, it was a rough one because
I had to try to break the tie somehow, and my explanation, that's how I broke the tie.
and I this is one of those things where I can't argue with your tech because I came down. There were 10 songs versus 10 songs, and I'm like, and I really was going to sit down and break it down. And it's like, okay, and I just went with these 3 songs are more upbeat and pumping than these songs, but
Right.
so
Okay,
anyway,
whatever. I mean,
Right.
I can't say I'm wrong or you're wrong. I mean, you can go either way
Right.
with these two albums, but we do agree that Bob,
Yeah.
as good as he is and as great of an artist he was, but compared to these other two,
Right. And we kind of felt, and again, sometimes we kind of know sometimes what album might get trashed,
right.
but we want to still bring it up and
this is
talk
our
about
chance
it.
to get Bob Marley in
Right.
on our show, so
Right.
this is a good way to get him in.
Right. So, coming up next is the Rolling Stones on Ed Sullivan, and then we're going to be coming back with Alice Cooper, Queen, Zeppelin, Black Sabbath, Pink Floyd, and Bowie, and we're going to give you the Stones on the Ed Sullivan Show right now.
So that was a good video.
We hope,
Nice
we hope you
video.
enjoyed that.
So Ed and I, we were just talking about like that last grouping that
John.
we did,
Yeah.
John and Eagles. How to differentiate between the two? That was fun. I mean, that was challenging
Yeah.
to try to figure out like between the two. How would you pick? And we were just on Wikipedia trying to see
Right.
well the Elton John album, like why did Border Song get on and this song didn't get on, and
Yeah, it was
you know, it's
interesting.
like we were just like looking and like and how like what the album sales were
Yeah.
and how it placed on the Billboard. Like each single.
All right, and sometimes it could be if they it's weird because I didn't look at that, but if they change label, it's like, well, the label, this label,
that could have been an
or it
issue,
could have
too.
been issues with the producer or whatever.
Right.
So it is interesting,
And that was fun.
I might,
That's what I
might
like about
wanna,
doing this.
I might want to dig a little more into the Elton John because that is a good point. There were some really big songs that did
was
not
left off
make
of there.
that album.
Right.
And like first off, The Bitch Is Back, because it still had Caribou. It still had the song.
Right, it was up to Caribou.
Right.
Yeah, it was up to the Caribou album. Yeah.
But then again, the other thing that they realized is they did come out with Elton John's Greatest Hits 2
Okay.
about 2 years later or whatever. So maybe they just put some songs
They
aside.
could
and
have.
said that
I didn't really
yeah.
look at it, so who knows?
So we have one more set of songs to go through, and this one I really found interesting on the group vote. And it's Alice Cooper, and it School's Out from the album.
School's Out.
I'm 18 from the album.
Love It to Death.
And No More Mr. Nice Guy
$1 Billion Babies.
from $1 Billion Babies.
Right.
Um,
And I didn't even have to look that up.
no, neither.
So these were kind of like
Yeah.
anthems of his, right?
yeah,
They
and
were anthems. I'm 18, School's Out, No More Mr. Nice Guy. I mean, you know, there were three really big popular songs that were
and
by
I
him.
and I really thought it would go one way on. And
So what did the people spoke and what did they say?
well, the group voted, and it was like 28 to like 25 with us. It's the song that came in second that really surprised me. School's Out number one, which School's Out and the song in second were teetering back and forth for quite a long time. No More Mr. Nice Guy came in second, which I was pleasantly surprised because I really thought it was going to be Anthem I'm 18 versus School's Out, and I'm 18 came in third. So for me, I agree with the people. School's Out because as long as there are schools in this world, School's Out is always going to be an iconic song. No More Mr. Nice Guy for me, number two.
Vince, hold on, let me time out. Vince, that's a violation, Vince. You know how this works, man. Come on. You guys, that's lazy.
Vince.
You can't just blast all three, dump all three. You know, you got to be forced into. I would blast all three of these too. I mean, they're really great songs by him.
But this is
you
what we do.
have to pick.
Yeah.
This is the challenging part of it. You
Right.
gotta pick.
We have to do that.
You gotta rank them 1, 2, 3.
It's
Come
not
on.
easy for us, but we
Come on, give us your
but we-
opinion. Rank
but
them
we-
1, 2, 3, Vince. Let's go.
But we put our soul out there,
Right.
and say, you know what?
we really put a lot of thought into this.
Yeah.
You know, this is just like we just look at stuff and like, oh yeah. You know, we listen to the songs, we listen to the albums, we go track by track, we pick out the ones we like, the ones we don't like, the ones we kind of like. You know what I mean? And that's how we determine, you know, what our decisions are. We don't just like look at an album, look at the track, like, oh yeah, I don't like that album. Yeah, okay. So, you know,
like Supertramp.
like Supertramp, yeah. But I actually did listen to those three
Okay.
albums.
All right, so you done there?
Mhm.
See, Vince.
I'm done my rant for tonight.
See, Vince, you don't get that kind of animosity from me. This is why you should be part of Team Ed. Team Ed is all about the Maharishi, the Green Maharishi, and love. Okay? And you know what?
Stop kissing ass,
If you
Ed,
want to
please. Stop kissing ass. Come on.
Is that what I'm doing?
Yes, you are.
I'm doing it
You're
quite
brown
well.
nosing too. I see that your nose is turning brown. Too much stout.
Too much of this.
Too much of that.
Or too much of this.
Way too much of that. Okay.
Not enough of...
All right. Not enough of that. Right. Exactly.
So, for me, yes. But, Benny, yeah, give it some thought.
Come on, Vince. Give me your 1, 2, 3. Blast, trash, and fix these three. Come on.
All right.
Think about it. So anyway, so our group page, the vote, the poll, liked School's Out, had no more Mr. Nice Guy second.
Which
and-
I was surprised, because I really thought it was going to be between 18 and... Yeah.
Okay. So, I'll have to agree with our group poll. I'm the same way. I mean, School's Out was. I mean, that was my first introduction to Alice Cooper for me. I heard the School's Out single on the radio, and who didn't love that song when school, like around May, June, when school was ready to come out. I mean, come on, they used to play that on the radio, like I said, May, June, and that's all you heard, and that's, I'm like, wow, who the hell is this guy? It's Alice Cooper, okay. So that's how I got into Alice Cooper. I mean, then I went back to I'm 18. I discovered I'm 18 after that. No More Mr. Nice Guy came off of $1 Billion Babies, which was one of his most iconic albums.
Vince did. He committed. He said, "Blast 18, fix school, trash nice guy."
What the hell?
And then he goes. I hated to write that. You know what? I'm taking a screen picture of that with no context, and putting it on the cell block. Can you believe what Vinny's doing?
Yeah.
No. So anyway, go ahead.
So anyway, I agree with our group poll.
Yeah.
I mean, but the only thing, No More Mr. Nice Guy is a little more upbeat than I'm 18. You know what I mean? I mean, it's not upbeat. I mean, as far as the lyrics, but as far as the song itself, and and he references a Reverend Smithy. Come on, our friend Mike Smithy.
Right. Reverend Smithy.
Smithy recognized me and punched me in the nose
with three. Four cheese raviolis.
With 4 cheese ravioli, yeah. So anyway, School's Out. I'm blasting.
Yeah.
No More Mr. Nice Guy. It's second choice, and I'm 18.
And I think the thing that surprised
but I love all
me
3 songs.
is because School's Out and I'm 18 are songs that non-Cooper fans know. Okay, No More Mr. Nice Guy is a song Cooper fans definitely know, and those who are more classic rock. So I really expected it to be between School's Out and I'm 18. And when it was No More Mr. Nice Guy versus School's Out, it would not have bothered me if No More Mr. Nice Guy would have won. But the fact that those two songs were like really neck and neck, that was the best one of the week. So
I'll tell you, for me though, Alice Cooper with his lyrics throughout the years, he's got to be the best. Got to be the best.
Yeah. So now we're going to get into some
heavy duty shit.
The theme on this one is second albums. And
this was tough. Okay, so we have Queen 2, 1974 release.
Sold 500,000, went gold.
Okay. We got Zeppelin 2.
Sold 15 million.
Is that all?
Yeah. Released, you said October?
1969.
Yep.
I didn't say anything.
Okay.
And we got Paranoid by Black Sabbath.
Was
4
million.
1970.
Yes.
1970. Okay. So I guess I'll go first.
Well, I guess we decided.
Right. This was tough for me because obviously I like all 3 albums. I mean, Ed, you know me with Queen and this Queen 2 album.
Right.
I mean, it's one of my favorite Queen albums. I mean, and Queen had a lot of good stuff come out.
Well, I think first off, Queen 2 is the, and I'm a big Queen 1 fan, so I'm going to put that in there. But I think Queen 2 is the
set
gem
up. It's kind of set up.
Ignore. Like if you're back catalog, you might not get the Queen 2, and you should.
Right.
Because Queen 2 might really be.
It sets up the rest of their career.
Right.
Like with the songs that they did.
And
like
and
March of the Black Queen was like a precursor to Bohemian Rhapsody.
And
you know
the
what
thing
I mean?
is,
it was just like.
And how amazing is the picture of the album cover is kind of the.
And they used that in the Bohemian Rhapsody video.
Bohemian Rhapsody, right. So you look at that and you're like, oh, that's the Bohemian Rhapsody. No, that's the Queen 2 cover that they modeled that in the Bohemian Rhapsody
in the video,
thing.
right? But comparing that between these other 2 albums, I'm trashing Queen 2 of the 3, and it killed me to do that. It really killed me to do. I know it killed me to do that, Ed. I mean, because there's not enough on here compared to the other 2 albums for me to do nothing but trash this album. I mean, it's so hard for me. I mean, the White Queen. I mean, the White Side. Excuse me. This wasn't side 1.
Right.
They got White Side, Black Side. So White Queen was good. It was the White Side was kind of a little weak for me, other than the White Queen. I mean, Father of the Sun was okay. Someday, One Day, The Loser in the End were okay for me. So we got the Orgy Battle. I always pronounce that wrong. Ogre Battle. The Fairy Fellows Master Stroke, which kind of grew on me.
Yep.
That was one I know your favorite.
Yep.
Nevermore. It was only 1 minute and 15 song, but it's a
beautiful.
Oh my God, beautiful song. Excellent vocal by Freddie Mercury. March of the Black Queen, like I said, was a precursor to Bohemian Rhapsody. But there's only like 5 songs I like over here, so that's why I'm dumping him out of the 3. Now this was kind of a tie for me. I like 6 songs off of each of these albums equally. But let's see. So in no particular order, there's a violation on Paranoid. It's a Lenny Vader instrumental, Rat Salad. Lenny V violation, Rat Salad. War Pigs was on here. Paranoid was on here. Iron Man was on. Electric Funeral, Hand of Doom, Fairies Wear Boots. Excellent songs over here. Planet Cavern, and like I said, Rat Salad. I mean, I can do without them too. So there's 6 songs I really like off of here. Off of Zepp 2, there's a violation. Moby Dick is mostly a drum solo instrumental. Right, there's no singing on here, so that's a violation for me. That comes off of here.
He hates musicians.
I hate musicians.
Just so you know.
There shouldn't be any instrumentals on. Like I said, if I wanted to hear instrumentals, I'd buy a Jeff Beck album or something to that effect. But on here, Whole Lot of Love came off of here. Heartbreaker, Livin' Lovin' Maid, Ramble On came off of here. I like Thank You. Second tier song for me was the Lemon Song. What Is and What Should Never Be, I liked also. Bring It On Home was just okay for me. So there's like 6 tracks I like on here, and I like 6 tracks on Paranoid. So what to do? So we got Whole Lot of Love, and we got Paranoid, or if you want to compare a Whole Lot of Love to Iron Man. You know, I'm trying to compare track to track. Okay, you got Heartbreaker, you can compare it to Paranoid. Livin' Lovin' Maid, you can compare it to War Pigs. But then you got Ramble On, and you got Electric Funeral, Hand of Doom, and Farewell. I just think the 6 tracks that I like a little stronger off of Zeppelin 2 than I like off of Paranoid. So for that reason, I'm going to blast Zeppelin 2, I'm fixing Paranoid, and I'm dumping Queen 2. And just for that, I mean, it was a tie for me between Zeppelin 2 and Paranoid. I liked those 2 albums equally, but I think Zeppelin had the more stronger songs of the two albums for me.
Well, one of the things I just want to bring, because the visual we have right here is, and it's not a comparison, it's Led Zeppelin. Oh my God, their album covers are like, I mean, the first one I'm fine with the first album cover, but this album cover totally sucks donkey balls. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, it does.
And Paranoid, what the hell was any of that shit with Paranoid? And then you go to me, Black Sabbath's first album really captured what Black Sabbath was. This album cover, what the hell is this? And then when they did Sabotage.
Okay, but you want to based on what you said. How about in 1970 the album's cover designer David Juniper was nominated for a Grammy Award for Best Recording Package. For that album cover.
Wow.
The album cover designer was nominated for a Grammy Award for Best Recording Package. That totally blew my mind.
Wow.
There was a fact.
And we have that information for you here.
Right.
He didn't know I was going to come up with that dribble. But yeah, so for me. All right. War Pigs, Paranoid, Iron Man, Electric Funeral, Fairies Wear Boots.
Hand of Doom, you know, like
Hand of Doom. Yeah, but the problem I had, long time, with Sabbath, was Ozzy's vocals. When Ozzy became solo, they found a way to touch them up, and I saw Ozzy live, and I enjoyed it. But I am trashing Paranoid. Okay? I understand Ozzy's vocals and all this stuff, but I'm telling you, if Ronnie James Dio was the lead singer of Black Sabbath from the beginning, they would be the greatest. I mean, I know they're still iconic, but for me, I loved when I saw Dio on the Heaven and Hell tour.
I have to disagree with you there.
Ozzy's voice was not good until they learned how to double the voice on his solo albums. Because when somebody said, "I got Ozzy's new solo album," I'm like, okay. And then I heard him, like, wow, his voice sounds better. But that's me. So, that being said, Queen, we do agree. Side 1, Father to Son.
Michael Field said, "Mother of God." Did you just say that? about Dio.
Dude, I'm all about no. I'm all about Dio, man.
I hear you.
I'm like-
I hear you.
I mean, I understand. I mean, it's just.
Yeah, Christoph said LSD helped design the Paranoid cover. I believe so. What else would?
All right, so
Robert Hagerman said, "Where did Ed just go?"
I know I went.
Wow,
to
you're getting a lot of hate
That's all right.
comments,
You know-
Ed.
you know what?
There's no more Team Ed now.
I'm sorry.
No Team Ed. No,
It's-
take the Team Ed off.
Damn.
But it's not Team Len. But I disagree. I do disagree. I agree with our viewers as far as how can you make that? How can you put Dio and take Ozzy off of Black Sabbath? How can you do that?
And the other thing too is when Black Sabbath always played live, the opening act always like blew them off the stage.
Linda said Jesus, Mary, and Saint Joseph, not just Joseph. Saint Joseph.
Lynn Finn, you got to throw some Ed love up there. It's got to be Team Ed. Come on, sirs, till death do us part. Okay?
You're right. You're right, Mike. I mean, you gotta love Dio, but how can you take?
Okay,
I mean, they did replace Ozzy with Dio at one point, but the statement he made was totally
I
off
saw
base.
them on the Heaven and Hell tour, and I was just like, wow, listen to all these songs, awesome.
420, Ed. That's
All right,
he needs some 420, Vin.
so side 2 of Queen 2. Ogre Battle, Grace the Fairy Fell Minstrel,
Right.
Nevermore, March of the Black Queen,
Right.
Funny How Love Is, and Seven Seas Rise. All good songs, okay? But for me, which I really was kind of like,
Ben, exactly, Ben. It's like Sammy
I'm-
Hagar is better than David Lee Roth. You just got to deal with it. Exactly. Go ahead, Ed. I'm sorry.
remember this, Ben? The Viewer of the Year?
All right.
It's a memory.
So what's
I'm
your deal?
blasting Led Zeppelin 2.
Okay.
I'm fixing Queen 2.
Okay.
And I'm trashing
All right.
Black Sabbath Paradise.
So we're flip flopping.
So bring on your hate.
We're flip flopping.
He only gave Black Sabbath credit because he knew what the people wanted to hear. Because that's what
I
he
did
does.
not. No, I did.
Yeah.
I was shocked. I was shocked that I dumped Queen 2. I was totally shocked because I didn't think I would do that.
Whoa! Oh. Wait, Ben. After all that bullshit, you're agreeing with me?
Wow.
Wait. Yeah.
Okay, whatever. Okay.
That.
Well,
Well, they're confusing me now.
I know, right? So anyway, to recap, Ed and I are both. No, you can't have any of my stuff, Ed. Put it down, Ed. That has to last me 2 more shows.
Wow. But I do listen. I do understand getting. It's like I went back for a long time. Ozzy's voice really turned me off to Black. Now, mind you, not Iron Man and Paranoid. I got
Exactly,
used to it there.
Ben. Sammy Hagar is Dio, and Ozzy is David Lee Roth. Yes, I totally agree. I see where you're going with that, and I totally agree with you. I'm just trying to get Ben to buy me a beer at the Yellow Cover. That's all. That's all I'm trying to do. So anyway, so we are in agreement. We are both blasting Zeppelin 2. So,
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, yippee! They're all
yippee,
they all
yay.
hate
But I
me
think
now.
everybody agrees with that. As far as the blasting of the 3. So, but we.
But I'm going back in time.
flip-flop.
I think here's the whole thing. After Ozzy's solo stuff, I acquired a taste for Ozzy's voice, and I've gone back and I've listened to this, and I mean, obviously, if this was if this was Black Sabbath's first album, I think Ozzy's voice hits like the Wizard and Black Sabbath with the. It's that,
I don't know. I think just Ozzy's voice just fits what the band
Yeah.
wanted to do, though.
and it could be the
With that dark, I
It
don't
could
know,
be
that
the
dark sound.
It's
and
just like you know
just
what.
his Ozzy's voice just fits it. It just fits the theme that they
Tonight
wanted
I'm
to
just
do.
being an asshole, just to be an asshole.
I mean, Dio was more 80s sound. I mean, you can't put Dio's sound in the 70s with that voice. I mean, it was just too far ahead of its time, I think. I don't know, whatever.
But if we were doing Black Sabbath, the Bay City Rolls, and the Osmonds, I would be blasting Paranoid.
Okay.
Just to make that
Oh,
clear.
okay. Well, that's good. That's good to know.
Now,
I would hope so.
Well, Vinny would probably be blasting the Osmonds because he had posted it. Or Adam Lambert. So let's go to our last and final grouping. Last time to mock me.
Oh, I'm sorry. Ben Powell said, "Do you understand what I'm saying? Sammy is superior." So he's kind of liking Dio better than I. Okay, I'm confused. I'm confused. I'm confused. I don't know. You're back on the Victrola. Ben Powell.
Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell. Ben Powell
Now you better put a piece of tape because you're going to be ripping it off and putting somebody else's name on here.
Well, the final decision comes down to who buys the most drinks at the
At the
Hill.
Yellow concert. And then we'll announce the winner at the season 3,
Yeah.
episode 1.
Yeah.
So, all right. Last but not least,
Oh wait, hold on. Let me get my notes up here.
okay, we have our last set coming up for the night,
All right. So
and we have Led Zeppelin 3,
3.
which obviously is their third album.
Yes.
We have "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd.
Pink Floyd.
I don't know. I mean, is there a theme to this, or
There's no theme.
no theme to this? And we got "Aladdin Sane" by David Bowie.
Just through some. So
This is just a potluck here.
Led Zeppelin 3
I'm
sold
sorry,
8 million.
1970 release.
Wish You Were Here sold 8 million.
1975 was follow up to Dark Side.
And
right?
Bowie, Aladdin Sane, 500,000.
That's
Is that
that's
fucking
amazing.
crazy?
1973. Okay, so let me go first.
Yes.
All right. So again, 3 iconic artists here.
Mhm.
You know, all respect to all 3 of them. I have to preface that before, because it's kind of hard to trash. But every band has a clunker, every now and then. And for me, Zeppelin 3 just did not do it for me at all. Just did not do it for me. I mean, it started out really strong. "Immigrant Song" was an excellent song, iconic song by Zeppelin. But then after that, Ed, to me, it seemed like, listen to the rest of this. I mean, okay, Friends for me was a maybe. Celebration Day, I kind of like better live on Song Remains the Same.
Mm-hmm.
Gallows Pole was another good song. Out on the Tiles was kind of a maybe for me on here.
Really?
It was a 2+ to me. It wasn't a 1. It was a 2+. There's 5 songs I kind of liked on here. There's a couple 2+, maybe a 1. But for me, Ed, it seemed like that a lot of, other than the Immigrant Song on here, right? Stop that. Other than the Immigrant Song on here, other than the Immigrant Song on here, it seemed like the rest of the tracks were throwaways from the first 2 albums, and they figured, well, you know what? Let's get lazy on this album, and let's throw some throwaways from our first 2 albums, stuff that we recorded that didn't make the cut on the first 2 albums. Let's throw it on Zeppelin 3. But let's put really one good song here, "Immigrant Song." So for that reason, I'm dumping this album out of the 2. Dumping this album out of the 2. Roy, I don't know why you're referencing Tangerine, the song "Blue." I mean, compared to, I'm sorry, that Tangerine did not do anything for me.
His words.
My words, it's. I mean, I don't know how people, Robert. I don't know how you can fix. There's nothing to fix on Zeppelin 3 between these 3 albums. I'm sorry, the album was just not that good. Other than the Immigrant Song, I'm sorry. So anyway, Aladdin Sane was good. There's a good album by Bowie. We constantly talk about this album as one of his best. Our favorite's Diamond Dolls, but I think our second favorite is probably Aladdin Sane. Would you agree?
Yep.
But we're not comparing Bowie albums. We're comparing between the 3. Okay. So anyway, there's a violation on here. "Let's Spend the Night Together" was a Rolling Stones cover. Ben Pal violation on here. Other than that, "Watch That Man," Aladdin Sane, "Driving Saturday," "Panic in Detroit," "Cracked Actor," "The Gene Genie." I know a lot of people like Time. I'm not a big Time
I
fan.
love Time.
I know you do, and I'm just not.
flexes like a
I know
horse.
I'm not a big Time fan.
His
The prettiest,
trick is you and
the
me.
prettiest star was just okay for me. Lady Grinning Soul was just okay. You have to throw out. I like the version of "Let's Spend the Night Together," but
Ben Pal violation.
it's a violation. So
It's a Ben Pal
I
violation.
know it's a bypass violation, so I got to throw it out. I like 6 songs in here, but I'm fixing this of the 3. To me, Pink Floyd's "Wish You Were Here." I know we're not comparing it to other Pink Floyd albums, but I actually like this better than Dark Side. I love this album. I own this album. "Shine On You Crazy Diamond," "Welcome to the Machine," "Have a Cigar," "Wish You Were Here," and then I guess you want to call it the reprise of "Shine On Your Crazy Diamond" part 6 through 9. The first "Shine On Your Crazy Diamond" was 1 through 5. I love this album from start to finish. And, I just, it's just a Pink Floyd album that really hit me. I just like this album. I love this album, and for that reason, I mean, everybody, you know, all you Pink Floyd fans, you got to be familiar with this album. You know, it's hard to go, and I don't want to go in any more detail than just the name of the songs that are on here. Everybody's familiar with it. So I'm blasting Pink Floyd, Wish You Were Here. I'm fixing Aladdin Sane only because of Time, Pretty Star, because of the Violation, Let's Burn, and Lady Grinning Soul. So there's like 6 tracks that I like on here of the 10. And Zeppelin 3, like I said with Zeppelin 3,
Had a bad experience with
Tangerines, maybe, I don't know. This song, come on, guys. This song, Tangerine, come on. I'm sorry. Other than the Immigrant Song, everything else was second-tier shit from Zeppelin, so I'm dumping Zeppelin 3. Time's yours.
Well, I would say that it's time to bring some sanity to this mix, but you're probably all going to think I'm fucking crazy, so here we go. First off, I love Led Zeppelin. I love Pink Floyd. I love David Bowie. So before I compare all three, I think of the albums where I feel they rank in my level of the band. And Led Zeppelin 3, if you've watched the show before, I've always kind of like dogged it a bit. Okay, we'll get back to that. Pink Floyd, we have to start here. Shine On You Crazy Diamond, Welcome to the Machine, Have a Cigar, Wish You Were Here. I like these songs. I have nothing against these songs. I'm not going to tell you that they're not bad or anything, okay? But for me, Wish You Were Here would probably rank as my 6th favorite Pink Floyd album. To me,
Song, you mean? Oh, album. Oh, okay, album. Okay.
Okay.
I thought you were talking about the
Yeah.
track. I'm sorry.
I'm trashing this album because I have to really
Over Zeppelin 3?
I have to be in a
Wow.
mood like I want to listen to metal, Animals, even Division Bell, The Wall, or this album. These songs just
Okay, we're not comparing it.
No,
we're
but
not
these-
comparing
all
it
right,
to
so-
other
so
Pink
what-
Floyd
what-
albums.
but I'm explaining
we're
my reason
comparing
for
it
this.
to Zeppelin
Right.
3 and Aladdin Sane.
These songs just were too drawn out and lengthy where they could have been cut short. Because there's one thing about being well, no, I know where it's going. There's one thing where Yes does stuff in the song.
You didn't just say that,
Yeah.
did you? You
Yeah,
didn't
did.
just say that.
The songs drag on, or they drone on.
Somebody who's the greatest album that ever was recorded
Yeah.
was Close to the Edge. You're making comments like that on this album?
I am.
Oh my God!
Because Yes did stuff in the fill. This is just, I mean, and I love Gilmour's guitar, but I'm just telling you, in this lot, I am trashing Pink Floyd.
Well, that's
Wish
fine.
You Were Here.
That's fine. You could do that, but don't go into an explanation about being drawn out
Oh, it's just-
when you like albums like Close to the Edge.
Yeah, but these songs are they're just too drawn out because they don't go nowhere. It's like Shine On You Crazy Diamond, 3 minutes, I'm good, great song. Welcome to the Machine, 4 minutes, please, we're good there. Have a Cigar, 5 minutes, I'm good. Wish You Were Here, good as is. Shine On You Crazy Diamond, give me 5 minutes. They don't go anywhere with all. Yeah, I know. This is
Close to the Edge, 22 minutes.
It doesn't matter.
Go.
But there's.
But your
parts.
reasoning is totally off.
No.
Yes.
My reasoning is just pissing you off, and that's even better. Okay, so that being said, my fix, Led Zeppelin 3, which I really re-listened to this recently because it was always kind of my Led Zeppelin album. So it's kind of a surprise that I'm fixing this and trashing this. Okay, Immigrant Song, Friends, Celebration Day, Since I've Been Loving You. Out on the Tiles is an A.
It's a good song.
Friggin' plus
It's a
song.
2+ song.
Okay, and
For
Gallows
Zeppelin, it's
Ball.
a 2+ song.
And everything else is kind of like, hats off to Roy Harper, and gone, but I'm fixing it.
See, for me, it's Immigrant Song, and then the album just goes like this.
Yeah, so for me, I'm blasting, Bowie because you got Watch That Man, great. You got the greatest version of Cracked Actor ever, ever.
Studio version. No.
The studio
the live version off
version.
of David Live is much better.
Panic in Detroit, Drive-In Saturday, Aladdin Sane, Time, which when I saw Bowie on the Glass Spiders tour, which really was a shitty set list tour, I was just so happy to hear Time live.
I time out. Scott says, I bet Lenny does not like Close to the Edge. No, I like Close to the Edge. I really do.
He likes Fragile more.
But I like Fragile better than Close
Oh.
to the Edge album. But the song Close to the Edge, I really like. I love it. But his reasoning for why he doesn't like for Shine On You Crazy Diamond because of the length of the songs is not the same for why, Close to the Edge is the greatest album ever recorded.
All right, so let's go this way. My argument for Pink Floyd is Wish You Were Here is his same
My argument for Close to the Edge. Right.
But at least in Close to the Edge, they go in different musical paths and
Well, so
journeys.
does Shine On You Crazy Diamond. There's different levels to the song.
It's very, and again, still a great album.
Yeah, Scott, Panic in Detroit does rock. Agree with you
Yeah.
there.
The Gene Genie. I know.
There's a lot of great. There's a lot of great
the
songs.
interesting thing is, let's spend the
But
night
it's a good
together.
version. I like the version. I like the version of it, but it's a
Of
violation.
what? No,
Let's
see,
spend the night together.
I was never
I
a
like the
fan of that, but it's really different.
Maybe it
It's
should
like-
have been on Pinups instead of this album. Maybe.
Yeah, and maybe it's a leftover from Pinups.
Could be.
Right. So anyway, I am blasting David Bowie, which is amazing. It's only 500. For Bowie as iconic, which is he sold 500,000 of that album, and the other two albums
Well,
sold.
I mean, as far as this Bowie album goes, this is
Yeah.
a very underrated underrated album for Bowie.
Yeah.
Not to, I mean, I never understood why this album never got more recognition than it did
right.
for him. Because of the songs that were on here.
Right.
I
So
never understood it. Okay. So anyway, that was fun.
yeah.
I didn't realize that was going in that direction there because
Yeah,
whatever. But
I mean, I've always put that album like I said, we're talking, and I'm not putting these in order.
But that's
the albums
that
I'm putting.
Zeppelin album for me didn't. I don't know, Ed. Oh,
I'm
whatever.
putting Animals, Dark Side of the
But
Moon,
we're not comparing.
Metal,
Okay.
Division Bell, and
You said you had the sixth on your list.
yeah. So anyway,
The Wall.
So-
the Wall.
and the wall, right. and the wall, and the wall. I would put like number 5 because I'm just
Right.
fucking tired of that album. But
But we're not comparing.
I know.
We're not comparing against
we're not
other.
comparing nothing now. This is what it's all
I know,
about.
but we weren't comparing.
This is the happy shiny moment of the
Oh,
show.
okay. Hi. Hey. Happy
Yeah. So next week, those of you, Ben, Vinny, Wayne, if you're still out there, we're doing the draft next week because it's a football draft. We did this last year where we drafted band members. But what we're doing this year is me, Lenny, and Bill are going to draft our top 10
Or
all-time
Bill Lenny and I.
Grammar Police. They live inside of my head. The Grammar Police, they come to me
okay, all right,
with
yeah.
adjectives.
Oh God. Okay.
Those dangling participles in my brain. Anyway, so we are going to draft our
Top
10 albums.
Right.
And if you draft an album by Led Zeppelin, you cannot draft anything else by Led Zeppelin. If you draft them,
And another criteria we have to draft one album from the '60s.
No, we're not going to do that.
Oh, we're not doing that.
We
Oh.
we
When was I informed of this?
well, we kind of learned when we did that '80s stuff and nobody watched.
Oh,
So-
okay.
so
All right.
there's no
So there's
criteria.
no criteria. Okay.
So you can draft whatever you want. Can't be the live album, and it
right.
can't
No
be
live album, no
hits.
greatest hits album. Right.
So we're going to draft our 10 favorite albums, and if he picks mine before it, but then the next week we're going to.
So we can only pick one Zeppelin album, one Aerosmith album,
Right.
one Kiss album, whatever we want, and
Right.
then so on down the line.
Right.
We can't duplicate
Right.
albums by the same band.
Right. So then after we're done drafting,
But if Steve Howe was also in Yes and was in Asia, can you draft an Asian album and a Yes album? Does it matter that way? It shouldn't.
no, it's a different band.
Okay. All right. I'm just checking.
Right.
Okay.
He's plotting his strategy now.
No, I'm not. I'm just
So
I'm
when we're done drafting our 30, then we're going to give it to the.
no, Scott. We're not moving the show to Thursday night. We're still going to do it on Friday night.
No,
Because
Thursday night is the NFL
Thursday night's the
draft.
first round. We can't go against the first round of the draft. That's it's impossible. So when the
We
second,
did
third,
this last
fourth,
year, and it was
yeah.
a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun for us. Yeah.
So
So we're doing it Friday night again.
right. So what's going to happen is when we're done drafting, then the 30 albums we drafted, we're going to have you guys
We're going to do a
draft in order.
right a viewers poll, whatever
Right.
you want to call it,
Well,
group
no,
poll.
we're going to have them draft in order on the show,
Oh, okay.
and then that's where we get the points. So if they draft my album first, which I'm sure they'll draft my first, second, third, and fourth because they're all Team Ed out there. They just don't know it yet. But we'll
So
clarify.
we have
all that.
we have any viewer participation?
Yeah, that's what they very
Oh, okay.
right. They're going to draft from our 30.
Oh,
They're going to kind of judge.
so that's going to be at the end of the draft that they're going
Yeah.
to start drafting?
or
Or you
we-
should just throw it up as a poll. You should just put the 30 albums as a poll and let everybody vote and see what the top 10 albums are by the end of the week. And then we'll see how many albums each of us have in the top 10, and that's how we'll do
Well, we're going to have it's going to be audience participation next week.
it. Okay.
We'll explain that when you show up. I'll probably PM some of you people that are regulars on here all the time and say, hey, you want to participate? It'll be after we do our 30, and then we're going to have you draft from our 30, and that's kind of going to determine which one of us wins by where you draft our album.
All right, Robert. I just felt that knife in my back.
So, that being said, so what we're going to do is we'll be doing that. It'll be audience participation.
So
It's fun.
the question is, Ed, do we draft albums that we actually like, or do we draft albums that we think our viewership likes?
That's the question.
That's the question.
That is the
Right.
question.
Right.
Because if you have good
If you're
music,
catering to the viewership, that might be a different. Then
Well, the
you're
thing is, this
actually
is-
picking the
well,
albums
you
that
should
actually
still
like.
pick albums you like, but you could, I might just draft Paranoid. That could be my first pick.
Or Zeppelin 3.
No, it won't be Zeppelin 3. but the thing is, this we're going to draft what we like because we're going to.
So draft order would be very important, I would think.
Well, there's only 3 of us, so
Yeah.
and there's plenty of albums out there. And I mean,
Yes, there is.
I know Styx and Journey, and then you're done. It's like, oh, and
Ben
Queen.
Pal said 6 Pink Floyd albums would be in the top 10. I doubt it.
No. No, because Bill's going to bring a different mix to it, I think.
Yeah, Bill's going to be more 80s, U2-ish.
Well, yeah, it could, yeah. But the thing is, it'll make it interesting because we're going to have to talk a little bit about the album, and then you guys are going to pick from the 30 that we have left in order, and it'll be a fun night. So next Friday, it's going to be a fun night. We're going to do our thing. Then we're going to hand it over to you guys. Get some liquor.
And it's pretty cool because
It's
last year,
fun, yeah.
last year Ed had like this podium setup
Yeah.
kind of thing, and we kind of we're behind the podium and we actually do our pick, and
Yeah.
so it's
It's
kind
fun.
of set up like the NFL draft,
It will.
but it has nothing to do with football at all. It has to do with albums and music
Right.
and that kind of thing.
Yeah. So hopefully you guys will join us again next week. We appreciate you guys joining us this week, and we will, again. The other thing I just let everybody know is when we post that we're doing the video, share it on your page. Just click share and put it on your page and let your friends know, because then they can watch it too. Or if you're a member of any group, or if you have a group, share it in that group too, because the more it just gets spread out, the more we get involved. So
Hey Ben, it's all good, pal. Man,
Yeah.
it's all in fun. We know that. We know that.
So thank you guys for watching. See you next week.
Take care.
And next week's going to be a lot of fun. So make sure you have some liquor aside.
Liquor and bowl of popcorn and
And 420.
like Tio used to say, get your popcorn ready.
Yes.
See you guys next week.
Bye.